Welcome to Whispers of Espionage, a Mystery Afloat by Evelyn Harper. This book covers a 1928 Golden Age mystery set aboard a luxury cruise ship hosting a secret international diplomacy summit. During a formal dinner, a foreign ambassador vanishes. No scream, no struggle, just an empty seat and a tightening circle of suspects. Core themes and recurring elements to include throughout the story: espionage and diplomatic pressure, a broken compass, symbolic and practical, invisible ink notes and covert messages, conflicting political motives among multiple nations, classic misdirection and logical clue, work no modern technology, no gore. What to produce? Create a complete detective story told in a classic, suspenseful, logical style consistent with 1920-1940 Golden Age fiction. Include the following sections: title, subtitle, hook, 1 to 2 lines. Example format: Murder at the Jazz Club, a night of smoke and secrets. Your hook should immediately set stakes and intrigue without revealing the solution. Setting and atmosphere, 2 to 4 paragraphs. Make the time period feel authentic. Ship layout: promenade, dining salon, bridge, cabins, luggage hold. Transportation and travel culture, communication methods, telegrams, ship radio, port authorities. Fashion, etiquette, class divisions, and diplomacy protocol. Detective introduction, 1 to 3 paragraphs. Create a memorable detective with distinctive quirks and method, something period authentic, not superhuman. Include background, worldview, and how they approach people versus evidence. Case overview, 3 to 5 paragraphs. Provide a structured overview covering the disappearance and why it matters politically, the suspect circle, and what each stands to gain, key red herrings and misinterpretations, the investigative direction and mounting tension. Do not reveal the culprit early. Keep it teasing, not spoiling. Character list: the missing ambassador, name, nation, background, last confirmed action. 3 to 5 suspects, motives, stated alibis, secrets, contradictions. Optional supporting figures: ship captain, purser, steward, radio operator, security, rival diplomat, key clues, at least 6. Spread these naturally through the narrative. Examples: invisible ink note on stationery, broken compass or altered compass, housing ship, manifest irregularity, cabin ledger discrepancy, telegram fragments or coded cable, glove smudge, perfume trace, lipstick stain, matchbook, ticket stub, a map with wrong bearings or a chart marked subtly. Each clue should matter later, either as truth or as deliberate misdirection. Story structure: 6 to 8 scenes or chapters. For each scene include location on the ship, what happens, action, dialogue beats, what the detective notices, observations, reasoning, clues discovered or reinterpreted, how suspicion shifts and pressure rises. Keep the story moving and cinematic, with escalating stakes. Final resolution: end with a clear, satisfying reveal. Who orchestrated the disappearance, and why, how the method worked aboard a ship, how each major clue connects, why the red herrings seemed convincing, what the detective proves, and what it costs politically. Optional enhancements: you may include a few short, in-world inserts, not puzzles, such as a telegram excerpt, a clipped newspaper report from a port city, a handwritten note shown as text, a ship dining menu with subtle relevance. Tone requirements: classic, logical, suspenseful, elegant, noir adjacent atmosphere, period accurate, no gore, no modern tech. Chapter 1: setting the stage. Picture yourself stepping onto a floating palace in 1928, where every corner exudes elegance and intrigue. This luxury cruise ship isn't just a vessel, it's a world unto itself. The grand promenade invites leisurely strolls beneath twinkling chandeliers, while the dining salon buzzes with the soft clink of crystal and whispered diplomacy. On the bridge, officers navigate the seas with precision, a broken compass tucked away, symbolic of the mysteries to come. Travel in this era is an art form, with passengers relying on ship radios and telegrams for news from the outside world. Imagine the thrill of receiving a telegram, each word carefully chosen, conveying messages across oceans. The fashion is as striking as the ship itself. Men in sharp tuxedos and women in flapper dresses, each outfit a statement of status and style. Etiquette dictates every interaction, with class divisions as clear as the ship's polished railings. This ship is more than a means of transport. It's a microcosm of society. Here the elite gather, each conversation layered with hidden meanings and potential intrigue. Diplomats from around the world mingle, their motives as varied as their accents. Every nod and smile could conceal a secret. every handshake a clandestine agreement. As you explore this opulent world, remember that beneath the surface of sophistication lies a web of espionage and diplomatic pressure. The stage is set for a mystery that will challenge loyalties and reveal the high stakes of international relations. In this elegant yet suspenseful setting, the disappearance of a foreign ambassador will soon shake this floating palace to its core. All aboard the floating palace. Step into a world where every deck holds secrets and every corridor whispers of intrigue. Welcome to the luxury cruise ship of 1928, a marvel of engineering and elegance that stands as a testament to the opulent world of its time. This floating palace is not just a vessel, it is a microcosm of society, a place where comfort and mystery coexist, promising an unforgettable journey. The Grand Promenade is the heart of this luxurious liner. Imagine strolling along its length, where passengers in their finest evening wear exchange polite nods and furtive glances. The ornate railings, adorned with lush greenery, echo the grandeur of a bygone era. It's a scene straight out of a classic film, where every step you take is accompanied by the soft hum of the ship slicing through the ocean waves. As you move through the ship, the dining salon emerges as a hub of activity. Here, the clinking of fine china and the soft murmur of conversation create a symphony of sophistication. Crystal chandeliers cast a warm glow over elegantly set tables, each one a stage for diplomacy and intrigue. The class divisions are palpable, with the elite occupying the best seats, their conversations laced with hidden meanings and political undertones. It's a dance of words and wits, where every statement could be a move in a larger game. In stark contrast to the opulence below, the bridge is a place of precision and duty. Officers in crisp uniforms navigate the vast ocean, their eyes scanning the horizon for any sign of change. The ship's radio crackles with messages, a lifeline to the world beyond, while telegrams are dispatched with urgency, each carrying secrets that could alter the course of nations. It's a reminder that beneath the luxury, this ship is a vessel of power and influence. Below deck, the cabins offer sanctuaries of privacy and secrecy. Each room is a world unto itself, where passengers retreat to plot, ponder, or escape the watchful eyes of their peers. The luggage hold, often overlooked, is a treasure trove of potential clues, a place where the ordinary and the extraordinary coexist. It's a realm of hidden stories waiting to be uncovered, where every suitcase could hold the key to a mystery. The ship's layout and atmosphere are not just background elements. They are integral to the unfolding drama. The captain, a figure of authority and calm, ensures the ship runs like clockwork. The purser manages the delicate balance of passenger needs and ship protocols, while the steward, ever attentive, moves silently through the corridors, a keeper of secrets and confidences. Each of these figures plays a role in the intricate dance of life aboard this floating palace. As you immerse yourself in the ship's atmosphere, you can't help but feel the tension and anticipation that permeate the air. It's a world of elegance and intrigue where every detail matters. The layout of the promenade, the seating arrangements in the dining salon, the comings and goings of passengers, all these elements will play crucial roles in the story's progression. Pay attention, for the ship itself is a character in this tale, its secrets waiting to be revealed. As the subchapter concludes, we seamlessly transition to the next, where the International Diplomacy Summit begins to take shape. The opulent setting established here provides the perfect backdrop for the political tensions and stakes that will soon be revealed, ensuring a cohesive and engaging narrative flow. The stage is set, the players are in place, and the story is ready to unfold. Welcome aboard the floating palace, where mystery and intrigue await at every turn. The ship's layout is a labyrinth of elegance, a testament to the opulence of the era. The grand staircase, with its sweeping curves and polished wood, serves as the central artery of the ship, connecting the various decks and offering a vantage point from which to observe the comings and goings of passengers. It's a place where chance encounters can lead to whispered conspiracies or unexpected alliances. On the upper decks, the promenade offers a space for leisurely strolls and quiet contemplation. The salty breeze carries with it the promise of adventure, and the distant horizon beckons with the allure of the unknown. It's a place where secrets are exchanged under the cover of night, where the moonlight casts long shadows that dance with the rhythm of the sea. The dining salon, with its sumptuous decor and attentive service, is a stage for both formal dinners and clandestine meetings. The seating arrangements are carefully orchestrated, a delicate balance of power and influence. It's a place where every meal is an opportunity for diplomacy, where alliances are forged and rivalries are kindled over courses of exquisite cuisine. Below deck, the cabins offer a retreat from the public eye, a space where passengers escape the watchful gaze of their peers. Each cabin is a world unto itself, a sanctuary where secrets are kept and plans are made. The walls may be thin, but the sense of privacy is palpable, a reminder that even in the midst of luxury, there is a need for discretion. The luggage hold, often overlooked, is a place of mystery and intrigue. It's a repository of personal belongings, each piece of luggage a potential clue in the unfolding drama. Here, the ordinary and the extraordinary coexist, waiting to be discovered by those with a keen eye and a curious mind. The ship's atmosphere is a tapestry of elegance and intrigue, a world where every detail matters. The captain, a figure of authority and calm, ensures the ship runs smoothly, while the purser manages the delicate balance of passenger needs and ship protocols. The steward, ever attentive, moves silently through the corridors, a keeper of secrets and confidences. As the story unfolds, the ship itself becomes a character, its layout and atmosphere integral to the mystery. Readers are encouraged to pay attention to the details, the layout of the promenade, the seating arrangements in the dining salon, the comings and goings of passengers, as these elements will play crucial roles in the story's progression. The opulent setting established here provides the perfect backdrop for the political tensions and stakes that will soon be revealed, ensuring a cohesive and engaging narrative flow. The stage is set, the players are in place, and the story is ready to unfold. Welcome aboard the Floating Palace, where mystery and intrigue await at every turn, navigating the past, travel, culture, and communication in 1928. In a world where messages travel by wire and the sea is a vast expanse of mystery, the luxury cruise ship becomes a conduit for secrets and whispers. Picture yourself stepping aboard a grand vessel in 1928, where the very air hums with the promise of adventure and the weight of untold stories. The ship is a floating palace, a marvel of its time, where elegance meets intrigue. As you walk the grand promenade, the polished wood floors gleam underfoot, and the Art Deco design whispers of sophistication and style. The dining salon, with its crystal chandeliers casting a soft, ambient glow, becomes a stage for both diplomacy and drama. Here, tuxedos and flapper dresses are not just fashion statements. They are the uniform of the elite, navigating the unspoken rules of etiquette and hierarchy. Travel during this era is not merely a means of getting from one place to another. It's an event, a ritual steeped in class and ceremony. The passengers aboard this luxury liner are a fascinating mix: diplomats, socialites, and adventurers, each with their own stories and secrets. The bridge, with its brass instruments and the captain's steady hand, ensures the ship's course remains true, even as a broken compass hints at deeper mysteries lurking beneath the surface. Communication aboard the ship is an art form in itself. Telegrams, succinct and to the point, serve as the lifeline to the world beyond the horizon. Imagine the ship's radio crackling with static as it reaches out to port authorities, a constant reminder of the vast distances separating the ship from land. Each message, each word carries weight. Invisible ink notes and covert messages pass discreetly between hands, unseen by most, but crucial to the few who understand their significance. This is a world where the art of communication is as much about what is left unsaid as what is spoken aloud. The role of telegrams. Telegrams in 1928 are more than mere messages. They are tools of diplomacy, espionage, and sometimes deception. Picture a scene where a seemingly innocuous telegram is sent, its contents apparently mundane. Yet, beneath its surface lies a coded message, a subtle dance of words that only a select few can decipher. This is the essence of communication on our luxury liner, where every word is carefully chosen, every message potentially holding layers of meaning, invisible ink and covert messages. Now, let's delve into the world of invisible ink, a fascinating tool of the trade for those in the know. Imagine a character demonstrating its use. writing a message that seems to disappear before your eyes, only to reappear under the right conditions. This sets the stage for future revelations about hidden communications, adding another layer to the intricate web of intrigue aboard the ship. It's a reminder that in this world, not everything is as it seems, and the truth often lies hidden beneath the surface. The broken compass. The broken compass is more than just a faulty instrument. It's a symbol of both the ship's journey and the shifting loyalties aboard. Picture a scene where a character examines a compass, noting its crack, a small detail that foreshadows its importance in the unfolding mystery. This broken compass serves as a metaphor for the uncertainty and unpredictability of the voyage, both literally and metaphorically. Emotional journey. This subchapter evokes a sense of nostalgia and wonder for a bygone era, inviting readers to immerse themselves in the elegance and complexity of 1928 travel. It's a world where every interaction, every gesture carries meaning. Yet beneath the surface, there is an undercurrent of tension, a sense that not everything is as it seems. As readers, we become acutely aware of the layers of communication and miscommunication that will play a pivotal role in the unfolding mystery. Bridges between chapters. As we conclude this exploration of 1928 travel culture and communication, imagine a scene in the ship's radio room. The operator, surrounded by the hum of machinery and the crackle of static, receives a cryptic message. It's a hint of the diplomatic tensions that will be explored in the next chapter, The Gathering Storm. This seamless transition maintains narrative momentum, ensuring the reader is eager to uncover the secrets that lie ahead. Conclusion. By exploring the travel culture and communication methods of 1928, this subchapter not only enriches the setting, but also lays the groundwork for the intricate web of intrigue and espionage that will define the mystery aboard the luxury cruise ship. It's a reminder that in this world, the smallest details can hold the greatest significance, and the truth is often hidden in plain sight. Fashion and class divisions, a tapestry of elegance and intrigue. As the luxury cruise ship glided smoothly across the azure waters, it wasn't just a vessel of opulence, but a floating microcosm of society's intricate layers. The promenade deck, where passengers paraded their finest attire, became a stage for a complex ballet of elegance and subtle social maneuvering. In this world, fashion was more than mere decoration. It was a declaration of identity and social standing. The detective, with a discerning eye for detail, understood that every choice of attire could whisper secrets about the wearer. Picture this: gentlemen in perfectly tailored tuxedos, their bow ties precisely aligned, and ladies in dazzling flapper dresses, shimmering with intricate beadwork and feathers. Their conversations were a harmonious blend of polite exchanges and veiled intentions, each word carefully chosen to maintain the delicate balance of social hierarchies. In this setting, a misplaced brooch or a slightly frayed hemline could speak volumes about a person's true circumstances or hidden motives. The dining salon, with its grand crystal chandeliers and polished mahogany surfaces, served as the epicenter of social activity. Here, the clinking of fine china and the soft murmur of diplomatic discourse created an atmosphere of sophistication and intrigue. The class divisions were palpable, with first-class passengers enjoying exclusive access to the grandest amenities, while those in second class observed from the periphery, their aspirations and frustrations simmering just beneath the surface. Fashion as a statement. Fashion on the ship was not merely about aesthetics. It was a powerful statement. Each garment was a carefully selected symbol of the wearer's identity and status. The detective, ever observant, noted how fashion choices revealed much about the passengers. A gentleman's choice of cufflinks or a lady's preference for a particular shade of lipstick could hint at their personalities, their ambitions, or even their secrets. Consider the case of Lady Evelyn, whose wardrobe was the talk of the ship. Her gowns, always the latest Parisian fashion, spoke of wealth and influence. Yet, a keen observer might notice the subtle signs of wear on her evening gloves, suggesting a financial strain hidden beneath her polished exterior. Such details, seemingly trivial, could become crucial clues in unraveling the mystery aboard. Class divisions and tensions. The rigid class structure aboard the ship mirrored the broader societal hierarchies of the time. This division influenced interactions and created underlying tensions among the passengers. Those in lower classes often harbored ambitions or grievances that simmered beneath their polite facades, waiting for a chance to surface. Take, for example, the case of Mr. Thompson, a second-class passenger with a penchant for observing the first-class elite. His aspirations were evident in his meticulous grooming and the way he lingered near the first-class dining area, hoping to catch snippets of conversation that might offer him a glimpse into a world just beyond his reach. Such aspirations, coupled with the frustrations of being on the outside looking in, could easily become a catalyst for unexpected actions, character interactions. The detective navigated these social waters with astute observations, noting how alliances formed and dissolved based on class and fashion. A chance encounter on the promenade or a whispered conversation in the dining salon could shift perceptions and suspicions. One evening, as the detective strolled along the promenade, he observed a curious interaction between Countess Marini and Captain Harrington. Their conversation, though outwardly cordial, was charged with an undercurrent of tension. The detective noted the way the Countess adjusted her pearl necklace, a nervous habit, perhaps, as she spoke. Such interactions, laden with unspoken hierarchies, could hold the key to understanding the dynamics at play, symbolism and clue work. Fashion and class served as potent symbols within the narrative, with certain garments or accessories becoming key clues. An embroidered handkerchief, found carelessly dropped on the promenade, or a distinctive cufflink discovered under a dining table, might hold the key to unraveling the mystery. Consider the case of the missing ambassador, whose disappearance during a formal dinner sent shockwaves through the diplomatic community aboard. The ambassador's last known action was adjusting his silk tie, a gesture captured in a photograph taken just moments before he vanished. This seemingly innocuous detail became a focal point for the detective, who understood that every element of attire could serve as a breadcrumb leading to the truth, setting the stage for mystery. The interplay of fashion and class divisions aboard the ship set the stage for the unfolding mystery. As the detective pieced together the clues, the elegant attire and social hierarchies revealed the subtle power dynamics and unspoken rules that governed life aboard the ship. In this world of elegance and intrigue, appearances could deceive, and every interaction was a potential clue. The detective's keen observations and understanding of the social landscape allowed him to see beyond the surface to the hidden stories and motivations that lay beneath. The promenade deck, with its parade of elegance, became a stage for a diverse cast of characters, each engaged in subtle social maneuvers. As the setting sun cast a golden hue over the scene, the detective observed the details of fashion, the beaded dresses, tailored tuxedos, and the glint of jewelry, as well as the expressions and body language that suggested hidden stories and unspoken hierarchies. Conclusion: in the intricate world of fashion and class divisions aboard the luxury cruise ship, every detail mattered. The detective's ability to read the subtle cues of attire and social interactions allowed him to navigate the complex web of relationships and motivations that lay at the heart of the mystery. As the narrative unfolded, the elegant attire and social hierarchies served as both backdrop and catalyst for the unfolding drama. The detective's keen observations and understanding of the interplay of fashion and class provided readers with a vivid sense of the era's elegance and the intricate dance of class and fashion. Ultimately, the tapestry of elegance and intrigue aboard the ship set the stage for a captivating mystery where appearances could deceive, and every interaction was a potential clue. In this world of elegance and intrigue, the detective's astute observations and understanding of the social landscape allowed him to unravel the truth behind the ambassador's disappearance, revealing the subtle power dynamics and unspoken rules that governed life aboard the ship. Chapter 2: The Gathering Storm. The opulent dining salon of the luxury cruise ship hums with the low murmur of diplomats from around the globe. It's 1928, and the air is thick with the scent of cigar smoke and the tension of hidden agendas. As the International Diplomacy Summit unfolds, each diplomat is a chess piece, maneuvering through a game where the stakes are nothing less than global influence. The reality is, these gatherings are more than just about polite exchanges and lavish dinners. beneath the veneer of civility, there's a brewing storm. Let's say you're seated at a table surrounded by representatives from rival nations. Each one has a distinct motive, a personal stake in the outcome of this summit. The British envoy eyes the French ambassador with suspicion, while the American delegate exchanges cryptic glances with the German representative. It's a delicate dance of words and gestures, where every nod could signal an alliance, and every smile might hide a dagger. Key figures emerge as the evening progresses. There's Lord Pembroke, the British diplomat known for his sharp wit and even sharper political instincts. Across the room sits Madame Duval, the French ambassador whose charm is only rivaled by her cunning. And then there's the mysterious Count von Richter from Germany, whose motives remain as murky as the waters outside. As alliances form and rivalries simmer, the anticipation is palpable. You sense the gathering storm, a complex web of diplomacy and potential conflict. It's a world where a misplaced word or a misinterpreted gesture could tip the balance. The core principle here is simple. In the world of international diplomacy, nothing is ever as it seems. Diplomacy Summit Introduction. A gathering of shadows. As the ship glides through the dark waters, diplomats convene in the Grand Salon, each carrying the weight of their nation's secrets. The luxury cruise ship, opulently adorned with Art Deco elements, serves as the perfect backdrop for the clandestine diplomacy summit. The grand dining salon, with its polished mahogany tables and crystal chandeliers, is a hub of whispered conversations and veiled glances. As the ship sails under the moonlit sky, the gentle hum of the ocean is a constant reminder of the isolation and the stakes at hand. Fashion and etiquette play a significant role, with diplomats dressed in the finest evening attire, adhering to strict codes of conduct. The subtle tension in the air is palpable, as each diplomat is acutely aware of the delicate balance of power and propriety. The ship's layout, with its promenade deck and secluded alcoves, offers both the opportunity for private meetings and the risk of being overheard. This setting is not just a backdrop, but a character in its own right, influencing the events that unfold. Setting and atmosphere. The cruise ship, a floating palace of luxury, is a marvel of its time. It embodies the opulence of the late 1920s, where every detail from the gilded railings to the intricate mosaics speaks of grandeur. The ship's promenade deck, a favorite spot for evening strolls, allows diplomats to exchange pleasantries under the stars, while the secluded alcoves provide perfect spots for more secretive exchanges. The grand dining salon, with its sweeping views of the ocean, is where the summit's most significant discussions take place, each word weighed with the gravity of international consequence. Travel in 1928 is an experience in itself. The ship is not merely a means of transportation, but a microcosm of society, where class divisions are starkly evident. The upper decks are reserved for the elite, where fashion is a language of its own, and etiquette is the law. Communication is limited to ship radios and telegrams, each message sent with the knowledge that it could be intercepted, adding another layer of intrigue to the proceedings. The isolation of the ship, surrounded by the vast ocean, heightens the sense of urgency and the stakes involved. Detective introduction. Inspector Alistair Pembroke, a man of quiet intellect and keen observation, is a character who immediately commands respect. His reputation as a solver of impossible cases precedes him, and his presence on the ship is both reassuring and unsettling to those with secrets to hide. Pembroke's approach is methodical and unassuming, relying on logic and careful observation rather than confrontation. He sees the world as a series of puzzles waiting to be solved, each clue a piece of a larger picture. Pembroke's worldview is one of skepticism and pragmatism. He understands the complexities of human nature and the motives that drive people to act as they do. His methodical nature and sharp intellect make him a formidable detective, able to see through the smoke and mirrors of diplomacy to uncover the truth. Pembroke's presence on the ship adds a layer of tension, as those with something to hide are acutely aware of his watchful eye. Case overview. The summit is a convergence of nations, each with its own agenda. The disappearance of the foreign ambassador is not just a personal tragedy, but a potential international incident. The ambassador's absence is a catalyst for chaos, as each nation scrambles to protect its interests and uncover the truth. The suspect circle includes diplomats and aides, each with motives ranging from political gain to personal vendettas. Key red herrings include a diplomatic pouch with a false bottom, a seemingly innocuous conversation overheard in the smoking lounge, and a misplaced telegram that hints at a broader conspiracy. The investigation unfolds as a delicate dance, with Pembroke navigating the murky waters of diplomacy and deception. The stakes are high, and the pressure mounts as Pembroke pieces together the clues, each discovery bringing him closer to the truth. Character list: Ambassador Henry Dubois, France, known for his charm and cunning, last seen toasting to peace. Lady Margaret Sinclair, United Kingdom, a fierce negotiator with a hidden agenda. Count Alexei Ivanov, Russia, stoic and secretive, rumored to be a double agent. Consul Emilio Garcia, Spain, ambitious and opportunistic, with questionable loyalties. Madame Li Wei, China, diplomatic yet enigmatic. Her motives are shrouded in mystery. Key clues: invisible ink note found in the ambassador's suite, a broken compass discovered in the ambassador's luggage, discrepancy in the ship's cabin ledger, fragmented telegram hinting at a secret alliance, lipstick smudge on a wine glass, indicating a clandestine meeting, a map with altered bearings, suggesting a planned diversion. Story structure: Scene 1, Grand Salon. Diplomats gather, tension builds as alliances form. The air is thick with anticipation as the ship's Grand Salon becomes a theater of diplomacy. Each diplomat, aware of the delicate balance of power, navigates the social landscape with precision. The stakes are high, and the atmosphere is charged with unspoken agendas. Scene 2, Promenade Deck. Private conversations reveal hidden motives. Under the moonlit sky, diplomats engage in whispered conversations, each word carefully chosen. The promenade deck, a place of both beauty and secrecy, becomes a stage for intrigue as private discussions hint at deeper motives. Scene 3, Ambassador's Suite. Discovery of the invisible ink note. Pembroke's investigation leads him to the ambassador's suite, where a seemingly innocuous piece of stationery reveals a hidden message. The invisible ink note is a key piece of evidence, suggesting a secret communication that could unravel the mystery. Scene 4, Smoking Lounge. Misdirection with the overheard conversation. In the smoking lounge, a casual conversation takes on new significance as Pembroke listens intently. The words, seemingly innocuous, hint at a larger conspiracy, adding another layer to the complex web of intrigue. Scene 5, Dining Salon. The ambassador's disappearance causes panic. The sudden absence of the ambassador sends shockwaves through the dining salon. Panic ensues as diplomats scramble to understand the implications, each aware of the potential international incident that could unfold. Scene 6, Bridge. Pembroke examines the map and compass. Suspicion shifts. On the ship's bridge, Pembroke examines the altered map and broken compass. These clues suggest a planned diversion, shifting suspicion and adding urgency to the investigation. The subchapter ends with Pembroke piecing together the initial clues, setting the stage for the deeper investigation into the ambassador's disappearance. The political stakes are underscored, and the reader is left with a sense of urgency and intrigue, eager to uncover the layers of deception aboard the ship. In the grand ballroom of the luxury cruise ship, the atmosphere was a delicate dance of elegance and tension. Glittering chandeliers cast a warm glow over the polished wood floors, their light reflecting off the resplendent attire of diplomats gathered for the summit's opening gala. The soft strains of a string quartet mingled with the murmur of diplomatic discourse, creating a symphony of sophistication masking an undercurrent of intrigue. Clusters of diplomats from various nations formed around the room, each group a microcosm of political intrigue. The British delegation was led by Sir Reginald Pembroke, a man whose sharp wit was matched only by his sharper political instincts. Nearby, Countess Isabella Marconi from Italy charmed her audience with a smile that belied her steely resolve. Across the room stood Ambassador Nikolai Petrov of the Soviet Union, his intense presence felt even in silence. Each diplomat, dressed in impeccable 1920s formal attire, engaged in seemingly cordial conversations, yet every word was carefully measured, every gesture calculated. As the evening progressed, the conversations revealed the hidden agendas of these political players. Sir Reginald spoke of trade agreements, but his eyes betrayed a deeper concern for maintaining British influence in the shifting sands of international power. Countess Isabella, while discussing cultural exchanges, subtly probed for weaknesses in her counterparts, her questions as pointed as any diplomat's dagger. Ambassador Petrov, though largely silent, exerted a pressure that was palpable, a reminder of the Soviet Union's growing power and influence. The tension in the room escalated with an unexpected toast by the host, a neutral Swiss diplomat. His words, though diplomatic, underscored the fragile peace among the gathered nations. As glasses clinked and polite applause followed, the underlying distrust was palpable, a silent specter hovering over the gala. The stakes were clear. Alliances could shift, deals could crumble, and the balance of power could be irrevocably altered. Key revelations unfolded as the evening wore on. A whispered conversation between two diplomats was overheard, suggesting a clandestine agreement that could tip the scales of power. A misplaced telegram, found by a curious steward, hinted at a secret meeting planned for later that night. These elements built suspense, as the reader realized that every action, every word, could have significant repercussions. This subchapter is essential for setting up the intricate political landscape in which the mystery unfolds. It highlights the personal stakes for each diplomat, making their motives clear and their actions understandable. The emotional journey is one of mounting tension, as the reader becomes acutely aware of the high stakes involved and the potential for conflict. By the end of the subchapter, the reader is left with a sense of anticipation, eager to see how these political tensions will play out against the backdrop of the mystery. The bridge to the next subchapter is seamless, as the reader is drawn into the unfolding drama, knowing that the disappearance of the ambassador will only heighten the stakes and deepen the intrigue. The grand ballroom, with its opulent decor and strategic layout, served as the perfect stage for the evening's diplomatic dance. Each cluster of diplomats was carefully positioned, with the British delegation near the entrance, the Italians by the orchestra, and the Soviets close to the bar. The room's layout was no accident, each position a calculated decision to facilitate, or perhaps hinder, certain interactions. As the evening unfolded, the reader was introduced to the key diplomats, each with their own unique style and approach. Sir Reginald Pembroke, with his keen intellect and quick wit, was a master of the verbal sparring that characterized diplomatic discourse. Countess Isabella Marconi, with her charm and grace, was adept at disarming her opponents with a smile while subtly extracting valuable information. Ambassador Nikolai Petrov, though a man of few words, commanded attention with his mere presence, a silent reminder of the Soviet Union's formidable power. The narrative delved into the diplomats' conversations, revealing their hidden agendas and the delicate balance of power at play. Sir Reginald's discussions of trade agreements masked a deeper concern for maintaining British influence in the face of growing competition. Countess Isabella's inquiries into cultural exchanges were veiled attempts to probe for weaknesses in her counterparts' positions. Ambassador Petrov's silence spoke volumes, his presence a constant reminder of the Soviet Union's growing influence and the potential for conflict. The tension in the room was palpable, each conversation a delicate dance of words and intentions. The unexpected toast by the Swiss diplomat served as a reminder of the fragile peace that hung over the proceedings, a peace that could be shattered by a single misstep or miscalculation. As glasses were raised and polite applause followed, the stakes became clear. Alliances could shift, deals could crumble, and the balance of power could be irrevocably altered. As the evening wore on, the narrative built suspense through a series of key revelations. A whispered conversation between two diplomats suggested a clandestine agreement that could tip the scales of power, while a misplaced telegram hinted at a secret meeting planned for later that night. These elements added layers of intrigue and complexity to the unfolding drama, as the reader realized that every action, every word, could have significant repercussions. This subchapter is essential for setting up the intricate political landscape in which the mystery unfolds. It highlights the personal stakes for each diplomat, making their motives clear and their actions understandable. The emotional journey is one of mounting tension, as the reader becomes acutely aware of the high stakes involved and the potential for conflict. By the end of the subchapter, the reader is left with a sense of anticipation, eager to see how these political tensions will play out against the backdrop of the mystery. The bridge to the next subchapter is seamless, as the reader is drawn into the unfolding drama, knowing that the disappearance of the ambassador will only heighten the stakes and deepen the intrigue. The grand dining salon of the luxury cruise ship was a spectacle to behold, a masterpiece of opulence designed to impress even the most discerning of guests. Crystal chandeliers cast a warm glow over the room, their light dancing off polished mahogany tables and rich velvet drapes. Each table was set with fine china and gleaming silverware, while the scent of exotic flowers mingled with the aroma of gourmet dishes being prepared in the kitchens below. This was no ordinary gathering. It was a summit of global importance, bringing together diplomats from the world's most powerful nations. The atmosphere was electric, charged with anticipation and the weight of unspoken agendas. As the diplomats entered the salon, they were acutely aware of the high stakes involved. Each carried the burden of their nation's hopes and fears, knowing that the outcomes of this summit could alter the course of history. The tension was palpable, a silent undercurrent that promised intrigue and drama. Among the attendees was Ambassador Hugo von Richter of Germany, a man whose reputation preceded him. Known for his strategic mind and inscrutable demeanor, von Richter was a master of diplomacy, adept at navigating the complex web of international relations. Rumors swirled about his secret agenda, one that could potentially shift the balance of power in Europe. It was said that he never made a move without calculating the consequences, several steps ahead. Seated not far from him was Lady Beatrice Fairchild of the United Kingdom. With her sharp wit and charismatic presence, Lady Fairchild was a formidable force in the realm of diplomacy. Her persuasive oratory had won her many allies, and she was keenly aware of the political maneuverings at play. Determined to protect her nation's interests, she was ever vigilant, her eyes scanning the room for any sign of duplicity. Then there was Count Alessandro de Luca from Italy, a charming yet enigmatic figure. His connections with influential figures across Europe were well known, but his true motives remained shrouded in mystery. Some questioned his allegiances, wondering where his loyalties truly lay. His presence added an element of unpredictability to the proceedings. Representing Japan was Minister Yuki Nakamura, a diplomat whose calm and composed demeanor belied a keen intellect. An expert in negotiation, Nakamura had a vested interest in expanding Japan's influence on the global stage. He was considered a wild card, his actions difficult to predict, but potentially game-changing. Finally, there was Ambassador Henri Dupont of France, a passionate and idealistic diplomat committed to fostering peace. Caught between conflicting national interests, Dupont faced the daunting task of advocating for stability while navigating the treacherous waters of international politics. Each diplomat arrived with distinct political motives. Germany sought to solidify alliances and extend its influence in Eastern Europe, while the United Kingdom focused on maintaining its colonial holdings and countering German expansion. Italy, on the other hand, was interested in expanding its territories in the Mediterranean. Japan aimed to strengthen its position in Asia and gain recognition as a global power, whereas France was primarily advocating for peace, albeit with a wary eye on German ambitions. The conversations that unfolded in the salon were a delicate dance of words, each diplomat striving to outmaneuver the others while maintaining a facade of civility. Polite exchanges were laced with hidden meanings, and the stakes were both personal and national. Every glance, every whispered conversation hinted at secrets yet to be uncovered, foreshadowing the mystery that was about to unfold. As the evening progressed, the atmosphere grew increasingly charged. Subtle hints of espionage and covert alliances began to surface, setting the stage for the intrigue to come. The diplomats' interactions revealed their underlying motives and potential conflicts, creating a tapestry of tension that promised a captivating narrative. The sense of unease among the diplomats was palpable, with glances exchanged and whispered conversations hinting at the secrets that lay beneath the surface. It was clear that alliances were forming and rivalries were simmering, each diplomat acutely aware of the high stakes involved. The stage was set for a mystery that would challenge the very foundations of diplomacy and espionage. As the evening drew to a close, The diplomats retired to their quarters, leaving the grand dining salon to its opulent silence. The anticipation hung in the air, a promise of the intrigue and drama that was yet to come. The disappearance of Ambassador Hugo von Richter would soon send shockwaves through this gathering, unraveling a web of secrets and lies that would keep readers on the edge of their seats. With the groundwork laid, the narrative was poised to explore the complex interplay of diplomacy and espionage, inviting readers to join the detective on a journey of discovery and intrigue. The mystery aboard the luxury cruise ship was just beginning, and the stakes could not be higher. Chapter 3. The detective arrives. As the sun dipped below the horizon, painting the sky in hues of orange and pink, the luxury liner glided silently over the calm sea. The detective, a figure of quiet authority, stepped aboard. With a sharp eye for detail and an even sharper wit, they carried an air of mystery themselves, a fitting presence for a ship shrouded in diplomatic secrets. Known for an uncanny ability to read people as well as evidence, the detective's reputation preceded them. Years of honing their skills in the bustling streets of London had left them with a pragmatic worldview. They believed that while facts were crucial, understanding human nature often revealed the truth hidden between the lines. This philosophy was evident in their interactions, where charm and humor were tools as vital as any magnifying glass. Upon arrival, the detective's first task was to gauge the atmosphere. The opulence of the ship was undeniable. Gilded railings, plush carpets, and the subtle clink of crystal glasses spoke of luxury. Yet beneath this veneer was a tension as palpable as the salty sea air. Diplomats from rival nations mingled with forced smiles, each concealing their own agendas. The detective noted these nuances with interest. The missing ambassador, a key figure in the summit, had left an empty seat that loomed large over the gathering. The stakes were high, with political motives intertwining like a complex dance. As the detective began to piece together the puzzle, they knew that every glance, every whispered conversation, could hold the key to unraveling the mystery. The game was afoot, and the detective was ready to play. Introduction to the detective. Amidst the clinking of champagne glasses and the gentle hum of the ship's engines, our detective made their entrance onto the promenade deck. The passengers turned their heads, drawn not just by the detective's tailored suit, which bore the charm of elegance with its slightly frayed edges, but by the aura of intrigue that seemed to follow them. Their eyes, sharp and observant, scanned the bustling scene with a calm intensity, noting every detail, the way a group of diplomats huddled in whispered conversation, or how the ship's steward seemed unusually hurried. This was a detective who missed nothing, a seasoned investigator whose presence alone was enough to stir curiosity among the guests, background and experience. The detective's past reads like a novel of its own, filled with high-profile cases that took them from the shadowy alleys of Paris to the sun-drenched embassies of Cairo. Known for their ability to untangle the most intricate puzzles, they had become a legend in the world of international espionage. Their reputation was built on a foundation of logical reasoning and an unyielding pursuit of truth, often navigating the murky waters of diplomacy with a pragmatism that was both admired and envied. This extensive experience had shaped their worldview, making them a skeptic by necessity and a realist by choice, understanding that human nature was as complex as the cases they solved. Quirks and methodology. Every great detective has their quirks, and this one was no exception. They had a peculiar habit of collecting seemingly trivial details, like the brand of cigar ash or the pattern of a shoe sole, which often led to breakthroughs that others might overlook. Their fondness for cryptic crosswords and chess was more than just a pastime. It was a reflection of a mind that thrived on challenges and strategic thinking. These quirks were not mere eccentricities, but integral parts of their methodology, allowing them to connect dots that others didn't even see. Approach to evidence and people. Unlike many of their contemporaries, this detective placed as much value on human interaction as they did on physical evidence. They had an uncanny ability to put people at ease, using humor and empathy to draw out vital information. It was a skill that often proved invaluable, allowing them to read between the lines of what was said and unsaid. Their meticulous attention to detail was matched by an intuitive understanding of human behavior, enabling them to piece together disparate facts into a coherent narrative that revealed hidden truths. Initial observations. As the detective mingled with the passengers, their keen observations began to paint a picture of the complex web of relationships aboard the ship. They noticed a diplomat's nervous glance, a steward's hurried pace, and the faint scent of an unfamiliar perfume lingering in the air, all subtle clues that hinted at deeper stories and potential motives. These initial observations were like the first brushstrokes on a canvas, setting the stage for the mystery that was about to unfold, emotional journey and key revelations. This subchapter not only establishes the detective's character, but also hints at the emotional journey that lies ahead. Beneath their professional detachment lies a personal curiosity, a desire to understand not just the how but the why of human behavior. This internal conflict adds depth to their character, creating moments of introspection that resonate with readers. As the narrative unfolds, the detective will grapple with the tension between their duty to solve the case and their personal quest for understanding. Transition to next subchapter. As the detective settles into their role aboard the ship, the narrative smoothly transitions to the next subchapter, where the ambassador's disappearance will propel them into the heart of the mystery. The groundwork laid in this subchapter ensures that each subsequent event feels inevitable, building anticipation for the revelations to come. The detective's unique blend of charm, wit, and analytical prowess will guide us through the tangled web of espionage, setting the stage for a captivating tale of intrigue and suspense. Approach to evidence and people. In the intricate dance of espionage and diplomacy aboard the luxury cruise ship, our detective's approach to evidence and people is nothing short of a masterclass in observation and interaction. This chapter delves into the detective's unique methodology, blending sharp logic with the kind of interpersonal skills that can unravel even the most tightly woven mysteries. Scene 1. The Dining Salon. The opulent dining salon, with its grand chandeliers and polished silverware, sets the stage for our detective's initial foray into the mystery. Amidst the clinking of glasses and the soft murmur of diplomatic conversations, the detective sits quietly, their eyes darting from one guest to another. Here it's not just about who is present, but also about the subtle cues that often go unnoticed. A nervous glance exchanged between diplomats, a hand that trembles slightly as it lifts a glass, or a whispered conversation that seems too urgent for the occasion. All these details are meticulously noted. The detective's internal monologue reveals a thought process that prioritizes these seemingly trivial details. In a world where appearances are everything, the smallest slip can unravel the larger mystery. As they sip their wine, the detective ponders the significance of a broken compass found earlier, a symbol of both misdirection and the need for guidance in this sea of intrigue. Scene 2. The Promenade Deck. Transitioning to the promenade deck, the detective's charm and wit come to the forefront. Here, the sea air is crisp and the atmosphere is more relaxed, providing the perfect setting for casual conversations. Engaging with several passengers, the detective skillfully extracts information without raising suspicion. It's a delicate balance of humor and genuine interest, allowing them to read body language and tone with precision. The detective's ability to discern truth from deception is showcased as they navigate these interactions. A diplomat's overly rehearsed alibi or a steward's hesitant response can speak volumes. This scene is crucial for building rapport, setting the stage for future revelations, and ensuring that the detective is seen as a confidant rather than an adversary. Scene 3. The detective's cabin. In the privacy of their cabin, the detective reviews notes and reflects on the day's interactions. This introspective moment offers insight into their analytical mind, revealing how they categorize information and identify patterns. The broken compass and an invisible ink note found earlier are considered with care, their potential connections pondered over a cup of strong coffee. This scene reinforces the detective's methodical nature, relying on logic over intuition. Every piece of evidence is weighed, every interaction reconsidered, as they strive to construct a coherent narrative from the chaos. It's a reminder that in the world of espionage, patience and meticulous attention to detail are invaluable assets. Scene 4. The Bridge. Visiting the ship's bridge, the detective engages with the captain and crew. This scene highlights their respect for hierarchy and protocol, essential in a diplomatic setting. The detective's questions are pointed yet respectful, aimed at understanding the ship's operations and any anomalies that might have occurred. This interaction underscores the detective's ability to gather evidence from diverse sources, blending technical information with human insight. The captain's calm demeanor and the crew's precise responses offer reassurance, yet the detective remains alert for any inconsistencies. It's a testament to their belief that every piece of information, no matter how mundane, could hold the key to solving the mystery. Scene 5, the luggage hold. In the dimly lit luggage hold, the detective uncovers a hidden compartment within a suitcase, finding a fragment of a telegram. This discovery is a turning point, adding a new layer to the mystery. The detective's excitement is palpable, yet they remain cautious, aware that every clue might be a deliberate misdirection. This scene captures the essence of classic detective work: meticulous, patient, and ever curious. The telegram fragment, with its cryptic message, is a tantalizing piece of the puzzle, promising new avenues of investigation. It's a reminder that in the world of espionage, nothing is ever as it seems, and every discovery must be scrutinized for hidden meanings. As the subchapter concludes, the detective synthesizes their findings, poised to tackle the mystery with renewed vigor. This segment is essential for establishing the detective's credibility and setting the foundation for the unraveling of the mystery. Their approach to evidence and people is not just a method, but a philosophy, guiding them through the intricate dance of espionage and diplomacy aboard the ship. In this world of whispers and shadows, the detective's ability to blend observation, logic, and interpersonal skills is their greatest asset. It's a reminder that in the golden age of mystery, the most powerful tool is often the human mind, capable of seeing beyond the obvious and uncovering the truth hidden beneath layers of deception. Initial observations. As Inspector Alistair Montgomery stepped onto the promenade deck of the Sovereign, he was immediately enveloped by the opulence of his surroundings. The luxury cruise ship was a floating palace, its grandeur evident in every polished brass rail and gleaming chandelier. The passengers, draped in elegant evening wear, moved gracefully along the deck, their laughter mingling with the distant strains of a string quartet. Yet beneath this veneer of sophistication, Montgomery sensed a tension as taut as a violin string. Montgomery's arrival was understated. He was not one for grand entrances. His reputation preceded him quietly, much like the subtle scent of expensive cigars that lingered in the air. His presence was a calm amidst the brewing storm of diplomatic tension that had been simmering even before the ship left port. With a keen eye for detail and a mind trained in the art of deduction, Montgomery began his methodical approach to the mystery that awaited him. The promenade deck was a spectacle of human behavior, a stage where the passengers played their parts with practiced ease. Montgomery observed them with the detached curiosity of a seasoned detective. The men, confident and poised, exchanged pleasantries over glasses of champagne, while the women, resplendent in their gowns, whispered behind fans, their eyes darting with intrigue. Every glance, every gesture was a potential clue, and Montgomery was adept at reading the subtext of human interaction. His senses were on high alert. The faint notes of the string quartet provided a melodic backdrop to the evening's proceedings, while the gentle roll of the ship beneath his feet reminded him of the isolation that the ocean imposed. It was a world unto itself, where alliances could shift as easily as the tides, and Montgomery knew that within this microcosm lay the key to the mystery he was about to unravel. Inspector Montgomery's background was as rich and complex as the tapestry of society he now navigated. Years spent in the trenches of high society and the criminal underworld had honed his instincts to a razor's edge. He understood the delicate balance of diplomacy, the thin line between ally and adversary, and the subtle art of persuasion. His pragmatic worldview was reflected in his internal monologue, where he mused on the nature of power and the games people played to maintain it. As he moved through the ship, Montgomery's charm and wit were on full display. He engaged with the crew and passengers alike, employing a delicate balance of politeness and probing questions to gather his initial impressions. His interactions were marked by a genuine curiosity and an ability to put people at ease, even as he subtly steered the conversation towards matters of interest. Montgomery's observations were not limited to the passengers. He made mental notes of the ship's layout, understanding the strategic points of interest that would play a crucial role in his investigation. The dining salon, with its ornate decor and sweeping views of the ocean, was where the ambassador's disappearance had occurred. It was a place of elegance and intrigue, where the lines between diplomacy and deceit were often blurred. The bridge, a hub of activity and decision-making, was another focal point for Montgomery. Here, he observed the crew's interactions, noting the deference shown to certain individuals and the quiet efficiency with which they managed the ship. It was a world of its own, governed by its own rules and hierarchies, and Montgomery was determined to understand its dynamics. As he examined the ship's compass, Montgomery noted its symbolic significance. A broken compass could easily represent the fractured alliances and shifting loyalties that characterized the diplomatic summit. It was a clue, perhaps, or simply a metaphor for the journey he was about to undertake. Either way, it was a detail that Montgomery filed away for future reference. His initial observations also extended to the passengers' body language and interactions. Montgomery was adept at reading the subtle cues that spoke volumes about a person's intentions. He noted the whispers exchanged behind fans, the furtive glances cast across the room, and the deference shown to certain diplomats. These observations began to form a tapestry of potential motives and alliances, setting the stage for the intricate web of espionage and deceit that lay ahead. As the evening wore on, Montgomery found himself drawn into the complex world of international diplomacy. The ship was a melting pot of political ideologies and conflicting interests, where every conversation was a potential minefield. Montgomery's task was to navigate this landscape with precision and insight, unraveling the mystery of the ambassador's disappearance, while maintaining the delicate balance of power. The subchapter concludes with Montgomery retiring to his cabin, his mind a whirl of possibilities and unanswered questions. As he settled into the quiet solitude of his quarters, he reflected on the day's events, piecing together the puzzle of his initial observations. The ship's gentle sway lulled him into a state of contemplation where the threads of the mystery began to weave themselves into a coherent narrative. What mattered most was the sense of intrigue and anticipation that permeated the air. Montgomery knew that the answers lay within the ship's gilded halls, hidden among the whispers of espionage and the shadows of diplomacy. With his initial observations in hand, he was poised to delve deeper into the mystery, armed with a growing sense of urgency and a determination to uncover the truth. As the ship sailed into the night, Montgomery's thoughts drifted to the challenges that lay ahead. The mystery was only beginning to unfold, and he was ready to face it with the precision and insight that had become his hallmark. The narrative flow ensured that each event felt inevitable in hindsight, maintaining the logical progression that was the hallmark of a classic detective story. Chapter 4: The Vanishing Act. The formal dinner aboard the luxury cruise ship had been a spectacle of elegance and diplomacy, until the moment it wasn't. As the ambassador from the fictional nation of Castoria rose to make a toast, he simply vanished. One moment he was there, raising his glass, and the next, his seat was empty, leaving a bewildering void that sent ripples of shock through the room. The dining salon, adorned with opulent chandeliers and rich mahogany, quickly descended into chaos. Diplomats whispered behind gloved hands, their eyes darting suspiciously around the room. The ambassador's disappearance wasn't just a social faux pas, it was a diplomatic disaster. The summit was meant to bridge gaps between nations, but now suspicion threatened to widen them. The detective, a sharp-eyed woman with an affinity for logic over intuition, observed the scene with calm detachment. She noted the immediate reactions, some feigned shock, others genuine disbelief. Her mind, a steel trap for detail, began cataloging the room's dynamics. Each diplomat had a motive, a secret, a potential gain from the ambassador's absence. As the initial suspect list formed, the detective honed in on key figures: a rival ambassador with ambitions of power, a disgruntled aide nursing a grudge, and a socialite with ties to espionage. Each had their own alibi, each with cracks just wide enough for doubt to seep through. The detective's eyes flicked to a nearby table where a compass lay, its needle erratically spinning, a metaphor for the disarray of the evening. It was essential to sift through the misdirection and uncover the truth, a task that promised to be as intricate as the diplomacy itself. As whispers of espionage filled the air, the detective knew the path to the truth was just beginning. Winding through a labyrinth of politics and personal vendettas, ambassador's disappearance, a diplomatic vanishing act. The luxury cruise ship, the Sovereign, was a floating palace, gliding through the azure waters of the Mediterranean in 1928. It was a time when travel was an art, and every detail, from the polished mahogany decks to the gilded chandeliers of the dining salon, spoke of an era of elegance and sophistication. On board, the atmosphere was charged with the kind of anticipation that only a clandestine international summit could bring. Diplomats from around the globe, draped in the finest silks and tailored suits, mingled under the guise of leisure, though their true purpose was far more serious. The ship was a marvel of its time, with a promenade deck that offered breathtaking views of the endless horizon, a dining salon where the clink of crystal and silverware serenaded the evening, and a bridge that housed the ship's nerve center. Communication was a delicate dance of telegrams and ship radios, each message carefully crafted to maintain the delicate balance of diplomacy. Etiquette was paramount, with class divisions subtly observed, and diplomacy protocol followed to the letter, all while the threat of espionage lingered just below the surface. Enter our detective, Inspector Edmund Sterling, a man of keen intellect and a penchant for the unconventional. Known for his sharp eye and even sharper wit, Sterling had a reputation for solving the unsolvable. His approach was as much about understanding people as it was about piecing together evidence. With a background in both law enforcement and a brief stint in military intelligence, Sterling was uniquely equipped to navigate the murky waters of international intrigue. He believed in the power of observation, often saying, "A man reveals more in his silence than in his words." The evening of the ambassador's disappearance was one of opulence and expectation. The dining salon was abuzz with conversation, the air thick with the aroma of fine cuisine and the tension of unspoken agendas. Ambassador Nikolai Ivanov, representing the interests of a powerful Eastern European nation, was the center of attention, his presence as commanding as the uniform he wore. Yet, as the evening progressed, Ivanov's seat sat empty, a stark reminder of his sudden and mysterious absence. No scream, no struggle, just a vanishing act that left the room in stunned silence. The disappearance of Ambassador Ivanov was a political powder keg. His presence on the ship was not merely for show, it was a crucial component of ongoing negotiations that could shift the balance of power in Europe. His absence threatened to unravel delicate discussions and ignite tensions among nations already on edge. The circle of suspects was tight, each with something to gain or lose from Ivanov's disappearance. There was Lady Margaret Ashford, a British diplomat with a history of strategic alliances, Countess Elena Petrov, a Russian aristocrat with rumored ties to the underworld, and Monsieur Jacques Dubois, a French envoy known for his charm and cunning. Each had their own motives, alibis as thin as the veil of civility they wore. As Sterling began his investigation, the first clues emerged, each one a piece of the intricate puzzle. An invisible ink note found on Ivanov's stationery hinted at a clandestine meeting, while a broken compass discovered in his cabin suggested sabotage. The ship's manifest revealed a discrepancy in cabin assignments, raising questions about who might have access to Ivanov's quarters. Telegram fragments and a coded cable pointed to secret communications, and a smudge of lipstick on a glass suggested a clandestine encounter. Yet each clue seemed to lead in circles, a classic misdirection that left even Sterling questioning the truth. With tensions mounting, Sterling knew he had to unravel the web of conflicting political motives and covert messages. The ship became a microcosm of the larger world, where allegiances shifted with the tide, and every conversation held the potential for betrayal. As he pieced together the clues, Sterling realized that the key to the mystery lay not in what was seen, but in what was hidden. The invisible ink note, once deciphered, revealed a meeting place, a secluded corner of the ship where secrets were traded like currency. The final pieces of the puzzle fell into place as Sterling reinterpreted the clues, shifting suspicion with each revelation. The broken compass, initially dismissed as a minor inconvenience, was found to have been deliberately altered to mislead. The map with incorrect bearings pointed to a planned diversion, and the coded cable, once decoded, revealed a plot to use Ivanov's disappearance as leverage in the negotiations. The suspects' motives were laid bare, each one entangled in a web of deceit and ambition. In the grand reveal, Sterling gathered the suspects in the dining salon, the very place where the mystery began. With calculated precision, he unveiled the orchestrator of the disappearance, Countess Elena Petrov. Her motive was clear. By removing Ivanov from the equation, she aimed to destabilize the summit and position herself as a power broker in the ensuing chaos. Her method was as ingenious as it was audacious, using the ship's own layout and the cover of diplomatic immunity to execute her plan. The political ramifications were immediate, but Sterling's deft handling of the situation ensured that the summit continued, albeit under heightened scrutiny. The case closed with a sense of resolution, yet the lessons of loyalty and deception lingered. Sterling's methods, a blend of intuition and logic, served as a reminder of the delicate balance between diplomacy and espionage, where the stakes were as high as the seas were deep. As the ship continued its journey, Sterling reflected on the case, the interplay of diplomacy and espionage, a constant reminder of the world beyond the ship's hull. The lessons learned were not just about solving a mystery, but about understanding the human condition, where truth and deception danced a delicate waltz across the polished floors of diplomacy. The story of the ambassador's disappearance was one of intrigue and elegance, a testament to the enduring allure of a classic whodunit. As readers turned the final page, they were left with a sense of satisfaction, knowing that in the world of espionage, the truth is often as elusive as a whisper carried on the wind. Immediate reactions and chaos. The opulent dining salon of the luxury cruise ship was a sight to behold, a testament to the splendor of the 1928 high seas. Crystal chandeliers hung majestically, casting a warm, golden glow over polished mahogany tables draped with crisp white linen. The air was thick with the aroma of exquisite cuisine, mingling with the soft murmur of diplomatic discussions and the gentle clinking of cutlery. This was no ordinary gathering. It was an international diplomacy summit, a convergence of powerful figures from across the globe, each carrying the weight of their nation's interests on their shoulders. Beneath the veneer of polite conversation, a tension simmered, a reflection of the political undercurrents that threatened to surface at any moment. As the main course was served, an unsettling realization swept through the room like a sudden chill. The foreign ambassador, a key figure in the summit, was conspicuously absent. His chair, once occupied by a man of authority and intrigue, now stood empty, a silent testament to the brewing mystery. At first, disbelief hung in the air, whispers rippling through the room as guests exchanged puzzled glances, searching for answers in the faces of their fellow diners. It was in this moment of uncertainty that chaos began to unfold. Diplomats and dignitaries, each representing their nation's interests, reacted with a mixture of shock, concern, and suspicion. The ship's captain, a figure of stern command and unyielding resolve, stepped forward to address the room. His voice, steady and authoritative, attempted to quell the rising panic, assuring the assembly that the situation would be handled discreetly. Yet the tension was palpable, and the room buzzed with speculation. Conversations quickly turned to hushed accusations, as the guests' minds raced with potential motives and theories, each more elaborate than the last. In the midst of this turmoil, the detective, a figure known for their keen observation and methodical approach, began to mentally catalog the reactions and statements of those present. The ambassador's closest aides, rival diplomats, and even members of the ship's crew fell under scrutiny. Each had a potential motive, whether it be political gain, personal vendetta, or covert espionage. The detective's mind was a flurry of activity, piecing together the initial clues that might unravel the mystery. The emotional tone of the room oscillated between panic and intrigue, drawing the reader into the heart of the mystery. The urgency and confusion that gripped the room were palpable. as if one could almost feel the collective heartbeat of those present. As the detective began to piece together the initial clues, the reader was invited to join in the speculation, experiencing the thrill of the unknown and the anticipation of unraveling the truth. Subtle details emerged as the detective observed the room: a diplomat's nervously tapping fingers, a steward's furtive glance towards the exit, the ambassador's half-finished wine glass. Each observation was a potential thread in the tapestry of the mystery, hinting at deeper secrets and hidden agendas. The detective's mind was a well-oiled machine, processing each detail with precision, drawing connections where others saw only chaos. As the detective quietly conferred with the ship's captain, they agreed to conduct a discreet investigation. The captain's trust in the detective set the stage for the next phase of the inquiry, a journey that promised to navigate the murky waters of diplomacy and deception. The reader was left with a sense of anticipation, eager to follow the detective's journey as they unraveled the mystery piece by piece. In the world of international diplomacy, the stakes were high, and the disappearance of the ambassador threatened to upset the delicate balance of power. The detective's task was not only to solve the mystery, but to do so in a manner that preserved the fragile peace between nations. It was a challenge that required not only intellect, but also a deep understanding of the human condition, of the motivations and desires that drove individuals to act in ways that defied logic. As the investigation unfolded, the detectives' methodical approach became apparent. They were not one to rush to conclusions, preferring instead to let the evidence guide their path. It was a strategy that required patience and persistence, qualities that were in short supply among the diplomats and dignitaries who clamored for answers. Yet, the detective remained unflappable, their calm demeanor a reassuring presence in the midst of chaos. The initial suspect list was a reflection of the complex web of relationships and rivalries that defined the summit. The ambassador's closest aides were an obvious starting point, each with their own reasons for wanting him out of the picture. Rival diplomats, too, were not above suspicion, their political ambitions a potential motive for foul play. Even members of the ship's crew were not immune from scrutiny, their proximity to the ambassador making them potential accomplices or witnesses. As the detective delved deeper into the mystery, they uncovered a series of key clues that hinted at a larger conspiracy. An invisible ink note found on the ambassador's stationery suggested a covert communication, while a broken compass discovered in his cabin hinted at a deliberate act of sabotage. Each clue was a piece of the puzzle, a step closer to uncovering the truth. The detective's investigation was not without its challenges. Misdirection and red herrings abounded, each designed to throw them off the scent. Yet the detective's keen intellect and unwavering determination allowed them to see through the deception, to separate fact from fiction in a world where nothing was as it seemed. As the investigation progressed, the detective began to unravel the web of conflicting political motives that lay at the heart of the mystery. Covert messages and secret alliances were revealed, each adding a layer of complexity to the case. The tension mounted as the detective pieced together the evidence, the stakes rising with each new revelation. In the end, it was the detective's ability to connect the dots between evidence and motives that led to the resolution of the case. The orchestrator of the ambassador's disappearance was unveiled, their method and motive laid bare for all to see. The political ramifications were significant, a reminder of the high stakes of international relations and the delicate balance of power that defined the world of diplomacy. The resolution of the case was a testament to the detective's skill and perseverance, a reminder that even in the face of chaos, order could be restored. The lessons learned from the case were many, a reflection on the themes of loyalty and deception that had defined the investigation. The detective's methods, too, were a source of insight, offering a glimpse into the mind of a master sleuth. As the chapter concluded, the reader was left with a sense of satisfaction, the mystery resolved, and the truth revealed. Yet the story was far from over, the detective's journey just beginning. The stage was set for the next chapter, a continuation of the thrilling tale that had captivated readers and drawn them into a world of intrigue and suspense. The vanishing act, shadows in the dining salon, when diplomacy turns to mystery. The grand dining salon of the luxury cruise ship was a spectacle of opulence, with crystal chandeliers casting a warm glow over elegantly set tables. The hum of international conversation and the gentle clinking of silverware filled the air. Yet amid this grandeur, an empty seat at the ambassador's table turned the evening from a diplomatic gathering into a potential crisis. The absence of Ambassador Henri Rousseau was more than a mystery. It was a diplomatic incident that needed resolution before the ship reached its next port. Detective Alastair Finch, a man of quiet confidence and keen observation, stepped into the scene with an air of authority. Known for his methodical approach and ability to read people as well as evidence, Finch was a former Scotland Yard detective now working as a private investigator. His sharp mind was matched by a disarming charm, making him adept at navigating the complex social dynamics aboard the ship. Finch's philosophy was simple: every action leaves a trace. He believed in piecing together the human puzzle as much as the physical clues. The ambassador's disappearance was not just a personal tragedy, but a potential international incident. With the summit's success hinging on his presence, the stakes were high. The initial suspect list included diplomats from rival nations, each with something to gain or lose. Among them was Lady Evelyn Harrington, a British noblewoman with rumored ties to espionage, Count Nikolai Petrov, a Russian diplomat with a penchant for secrets, and Ambassador Luis Mendoza, a charismatic figure whose charm hid a ruthless ambition. Each suspect presented a facade of innocence, yet their alibis and motives wove a complex web of deceit. Key red herrings included a misplaced telegram and a broken compass found in the ambassador's cabin, both seemingly unrelated but crucial to the overarching mystery. As Finch surveyed the dining salon, he noted the subtle shifts in the room's atmosphere. The diplomats, dressed in their formal finest, exchanged furtive glances, each aware that their nation's reputation hung in the balance. The ship's gentle sway was a constant reminder of the isolation at sea, amplifying the urgency of the situation. Finch's keen eyes caught a subtle detail: a glove smudge on the ambassador's chair, a trace of perfume lingering in the air, each a silent witness to the evening's events. Moving to the ambassador's cabin, Finch's search revealed an invisible ink note tucked within the ambassador's personal effects. The broken compass lay discarded, its needle spinning aimlessly. These were not mere trinkets, but potential keys to understanding the ambassador's fate. Each clue, however small, was a piece of the larger puzzle. On the promenade deck, Finch engaged Lady Evelyn in conversation. Her evasive answers and the tension in her demeanor suggested she knew more than she let on. Her reputation for dabbling in espionage was well known, but was it enough to implicate her in the ambassador's disappearance? Finch filed away her reactions, knowing that the truth often lay hidden beneath layers of deception. A visit to the ship's bridge brought Finch face to face with Captain James Harrington. Their conversation revealed an irregularity in the ship's manifest, suggesting a hidden passenger aboard. This revelation added another layer of intrigue, hinting at clandestine activities that could be linked to the ambassador's vanishing. In the private lounge, Finch confronted Count Petrov. The Russian diplomat's cryptic comments and mysterious demeanor only deepened the detective's suspicions. Petrov's penchant for secrets made him a prime suspect, yet his involvement remained elusive, buried beneath layers of diplomatic protocol and personal ambition. The radio room provided another piece of the puzzle. Telegram fragments hinted at a covert meeting, their contents obscured by the ship's static-filled communications. The urgency of the messages suggested a clandestine agenda, one that could have dire implications for the summit and its participants. As Finch synthesized the gathered information, the suspects' facades began to crack under scrutiny. Each clue, each conversation added to the tapestry of intrigue. The ambassador's disappearance was not an isolated event, but a thread woven into a larger narrative of espionage and diplomatic maneuvering. Amidst the tension and suspicion, Finch's methodical approach began to yield results. The invisible ink note, when revealed, contained instructions for a secret rendezvous, a meeting that could explain the ambassador's sudden absence. The broken compass, once dismissed as a mere trinket, took on new significance, its altered bearings pointing to a hidden destination, The dining salon's atmosphere, once charged with suspicion, now simmered with anticipation. Finch's presence was a catalyst, his quiet confidence reassuring the diplomats that the mystery would be unraveled. Yet the path to the truth was fraught with danger, each step revealing new layers of deception and intrigue. As the ship sailed through the night, Finch prepared to delve deeper into the suspect's secrets. The initial suspect list was only the beginning, each name a potential key to unlocking the mystery of the ambassador's disappearance. The stakes were high, the consequences far-reaching, yet Finch's determination remained unwavering. In this world of shadows and secrets, every action left a trace, every word a clue to the truth. The ambassador's empty seat was more than a mystery. It was a call to action, a challenge that Detective Finch was determined to meet head-on. The game was afoot, and the resolution lay just beyond the horizon. Chapter 5: Clues and Red Herrings. As the luxury liner glided through the moonlit waves, the detective found herself sifting through a sea of clues, some genuine, others deceptive. An invisible ink note, cleverly hidden within a seemingly mundane letter, hinted at secret rendezvous and whispered alliances. However, the real puzzle lay in a broken compass, its needle stubbornly pointing east, defying logic and leading her thoughts astray. The detective, with her discerning eye and a penchant for detail, began to unravel the tangled web of motives and alibis. Each suspect, from the nervous aide with a penchant for late-night telegrams to the charming diplomat with a hidden past, presented a tapestry of contradictions. The detective knew that beneath their polished exteriors lay secrets waiting to be uncovered. Picture this: a grand dining salon, where whispers of espionage mingled with the clinking of crystal glasses. Here the detective's mind worked tirelessly, filtering truth from fiction. Misdirection was the order of the day, as a lipstick-stained napkin and a misplaced glove led her down paths that twisted and turned like the ship's own corridors. Furthermore, the ship's manifest revealed subtle discrepancies, a cabin ledger with entries that seemed to dance around the truth. Each clue was a piece of the puzzle, yet the detective remained wary of red herrings designed to mislead. The important thing to remember was that every detail mattered, each a potential key to unlocking the mystery. As tension mounted, the detective invited readers to join her in the chase, urging them to question every alibi, every motive. In this world of high stakes and hidden agendas, the line between friend and foe blurred, making every revelation a potential game-changer. Discovery of key clues. Amidst the opulent surroundings of the SS Majestic, a luxury cruise liner gliding through the moonlit waters of the Atlantic, a mystery unfolds that would confound even the most astute minds. The vessel, a floating palace of elegance and diplomacy, was hosting a clandestine summit, bringing together diplomats from around the world. Yet, it was not just the grandeur of the ship that captured attention, but the sudden disappearance of a distinguished ambassador during a formal dinner, leaving only an empty seat and a sea of questions. The SS Majestic was a marvel of its time, a testament to the roaring 20s with its lavish dining salons, expansive promenades, and intricate wood-paneled cabins. The ship's layout was a maze of luxury, from the grand ballroom where the diplomats mingled to the secluded nooks that whispered secrets of espionage. Communication was a delicate dance of telegrams and ship radios, each message a potential catalyst for international intrigue. The fashion aboard was a spectacle of elegance, with women draped in sequined gowns and men in sharp tuxedos, each outfit a statement of wealth and status. Our detective, a man of sharp wit and keen observation, stepped aboard with an air of quiet confidence. Known for his methodical approach and an uncanny ability to read the unspoken, he was a master of deduction. With a penchant for classical music and a fondness for puzzles, his mind was as sharp as the creases in his perfectly tailored suit. He believed in the power of evidence, yet understood the nuances of human nature, often saying, "People are the most intriguing clues of all." The disappearance of Ambassador Henri Duval, representing the Republic of France, sent ripples through the diplomatic waters. His absence was not just a personal concern, but a political tremor that threatened the fragile peace being brokered aboard. Duval, known for his charm and acumen, was last seen raising a toast to unity, his glass reflecting the chandelier's glow. His vanishing act left behind a circle of suspects, each with motives as varied as the nations they represented. Countess Natalia Ivanova, a Russian diplomat with a reputation for intrigue, was one of the prime suspects. Her alibi, a solitary stroll on the upper deck, was as thin as the silk scarf she wore. Then there was Sir Edward Kensington, a British envoy whose political ambitions were as towering as his stature. His claim of being engrossed in a game of chess with a fellow diplomat raised eyebrows, especially when no one recalled seeing the supposed opponent. The American delegate, Mr. Samuel Green, was another figure of interest, his easy charm masking a web of secrets, including a discreet meeting with an unknown figure in the ship's library. Amidst this sea of suspicion, key clues began to surface, each one a piece of a perplexing puzzle. A note written in invisible ink was discovered on Duval's stationery, its contents revealed only under the heat of a candle. It hinted at a clandestine meeting, though the recipient remained a mystery. A broken compass, found among Duval's belongings, suggested more than just a navigational mishap. It was a symbol of misdirection, both literal and metaphorical. The ship's manifest revealed an irregularity, a discrepancy in the cabin ledger that suggested an extra passenger aboard, one who had evaded detection. This shadowy presence added another layer of complexity to the investigation. Telegram fragments, found in the purser's office, hinted at coded messages exchanged between unidentified parties, their meanings obscured by cryptic language. A smudge of lipstick on a glass, a trace of perfume lingering in the air, and a matchbook from a Parisian cafe were subtle yet significant clues. Each detail, seemingly innocuous, was a thread in the tapestry of deception. The detective's keen eye noted a map with incorrect bearings, a chart subtly marked to mislead the ship's course, adding to the growing tension. As the detective delved deeper, the pressure mounted. The political stakes were high, with each nation vying for influence and advantage. The clues, both misleading and revelatory, painted a picture of a complex web of alliances and betrayals. The detective's mind was a whirlwind of possibilities, each theory tested against the cold logic of evidence. In the dimly lit corridors of the SS Majestic, the detective pieced together the puzzle, each clue a stepping stone toward the truth. The invisible ink note, once a mystery, revealed a rendezvous that Duval had intended to keep. The broken compass, a tool of misdirection, led to the discovery of a hidden compartment in Duval's cabin, containing documents that could alter the balance of power. The ship's manifest irregularity was no mere oversight, but a deliberate act of subterfuge, orchestrated to conceal the presence of a spy. The telegram fragments, when decoded, unveiled a conspiracy that reached far beyond the confines of the ship, implicating individuals in a plot that threatened the very essence of the summit. As the final pieces fell into place, the detective gathered the suspects in the grand salon. The tension was palpable, the air thick with anticipation. With a deft hand, he unraveled the mystery, revealing Countess Ivanova as the orchestrator of the disappearance. Her motives, rooted in political ambition and personal vendetta, were laid bare. The method, a blend of cunning and opportunism, was executed with precision, exploiting the chaos of the summit to achieve her ends. The resolution of the case brought a sense of closure, yet the political ramifications were far-reaching. The detective's triumph was bittersweet, a testament to the delicate balance of diplomacy and intrigue. The lessons of loyalty and deception, woven into the fabric of the investigation, offered insights into the complex interplay of international relations. In the end, the SS Majestic sailed on, its passengers unaware of the drama that had unfolded in their midst. The detective, with a nod to the captain, departed the ship with the satisfaction of a case solved, his mind already turning to the next mystery awaiting his keen intellect. The whispers of espionage aboard the luxury liner would linger in the annals of history, a reminder of the timeless dance of secrets and revelations. The veil of intentions, secrets beneath the surface. As the detective delves into the tangled motives and alibis of the diplomats aboard, the truth becomes as elusive as the vanished ambassador himself. The opulent dining salon aboard the luxury cruise ship transforms into an arena of tension and suspicion. The grandeur of the room, with its polished wood paneling and sparkling chandeliers, contrasts sharply with the undercurrents of distrust among the guests. The detective, a keen observer of human nature, navigates this charged environment, noting the subtle exchanges and lingering glances that suggest more than mere diplomatic pleasantries. Our detective, a sharp-witted and methodical thinker, approaches each suspect with a blend of charm and incisive questioning. Known for their ability to read between the lines, they employ a conversational style that disarms and reveals. Their method is grounded in logic, yet sensitive to the nuances of human behavior, making them adept at discerning truth from deception. The dining salon, usually a place of elegance and refinement, now buzzes with an undercurrent of anxiety. Diplomats, dressed in their finest evening attire, exchange guarded whispers, their eyes darting around the room. The detective, moving with the grace of a seasoned dancer, approaches each suspect with a seemingly casual air, yet every question is a carefully crafted step in an intricate waltz of words. The missing ambassador, a figure of considerable political importance, was last seen raising a toast before his sudden disappearance. His absence is more than a mere mystery. It threatens to unravel the delicate fabric of international relations. The detective must navigate this diplomatic minefield with care, aware that each misstep could have far-reaching consequences. The suspects, each a representative of their nation, are not merely individuals but embodiments of their country's interests and ambitions. The detective begins by interviewing them, keenly aware that every word spoken is a potential clue. Let's take a closer look at these intriguing characters. Lady Evelyn Harrington, a British diplomat with a penchant for secrets. Her alibi is a late-night strategy meeting, but whispers suggest a clandestine rendezvous. Her polished exterior hides a mind as sharp as a razor, and the detective must tread carefully around her. Count Nikolai Volkov, a Russian delegate with a history of espionage. His motives are obscured by layers of political intrigue and personal vendettas. The detective senses that Volkov's cool demeanor is a mask, concealing a tempest of ambition and resentment. Ambassador Pierre Dubois, a French envoy known for his charm, yet his alibi of a solitary walk on the promenade seems too convenient. The detective notes the subtle charm in Dubois' manner, wondering if it's a tool to distract from deeper machinations. Madame Shen Liu, a Chinese diplomat whose calm demeanor hides a fierce loyalty to her nation. Her movements that evening are shrouded in mystery. The detective is intrigued by her serene composure, suspecting it conceals a mind ever calculating. Colonel Theodore Jackson, an American military attaché with a reputation for brashness, his stated alibi of reviewing documents is contradicted by a misplaced telegram. The detective sees in Jackson a man used to command, yet possibly out of his depth in this diplomatic dance. As the detective probes deeper, contradictions emerge. Invisible ink notes are found in Lady Evelyn's cabin, suggesting secret communications. A broken compass, discovered in Count Volkov's possession, hints at a deliberate misdirection. Each suspect's alibi is scrutinized, revealing a web of lies and half-truths. The detective's method is both art and science. They engage each suspect in conversation, their questions seemingly benign yet designed to unearth inconsistencies. It's a bit like peeling an onion, layer by layer, until the core truth is revealed. The detective listens intently, not just to the words spoken, but to the pauses, the hesitations, the unspoken tensions that hang in the air. Let's delve into some key revelations that begin to shift the sands of suspicion. A hidden agenda involving a covert alliance is hinted at in a coded message found in the ambassador's quarters. The detective deciphers this with the precision of a codebreaker, each symbol a step closer to the truth. A lipstick-stained matchbook found in Colonel Jackson's jacket pocket raises questions about his whereabouts during the disappearance. The detective wonders if this is a clue or a deliberate distraction. Madame Chen's seemingly innocuous conversation with the ship's purser reveals a deeper connection to the ambassador's last movements. The detective senses that beneath her calm exterior lies a strategic mind, ever vigilant. Readers are drawn into the psychological chess game between the detective and the suspects. Each revelation not only shifts suspicion but also deepens the emotional stakes, as alliances are tested and loyalties questioned. The detective's relentless pursuit of truth against a backdrop of diplomatic tension keeps readers on edge, eager to unravel the mystery alongside them. The detective's task is not merely to solve a mystery, but to maintain the fragile balance of international relations. Each suspect represents a nation, and their motives are intertwined with their country's ambitions. The detective must weigh each decision, aware that the wrong move could have repercussions far beyond the confines of the ship. As the detective pieces together the suspect's motives and alibis, the narrative seamlessly transitions into the next subchapter, where the focus shifts to reinterpretation of clues and the mounting pressure to solve the case before the ship reaches its next port. The stakes are higher than ever, with the potential for international scandal looming large. The detective's journey is a testament to the power of observation, logic, and human understanding. They navigate the complex web of lies and half-truths with a steady hand, guided by an unyielding commitment to uncovering the truth. In this world of shadows and secrets, the detective stands as a beacon of clarity, unraveling the threads of deception to reveal the hidden motives beneath. As readers immerse themselves in this tale of intrigue and suspense, they are reminded of the timeless appeal of a well-crafted mystery. The detective's journey is not just a quest for answers, but a reflection on the nature of truth, loyalty, and the human condition. In the end, it is this exploration of the human psyche that makes Whispers of Espionage, a Mystery Afloat, a captivating read, inviting readers to ponder the complexities of motive and the delicate dance of diplomacy. Chapter 6, Unraveling the Web. The investigation aboard the luxury liner intensifies as the detective delves into the tangled web of political intrigue. With each nation harboring its own agenda, the stakes are high and the diplomatic dance is delicate. The detective, ever methodical, pieces together the puzzle through a series of covert messages and invisible ink notes that hint at a sprawling network of espionage. In this chapter, the detective's logical approach becomes paramount. He sifts through the conflicting motives, each as slippery as the ocean waves outside. One moment, a suspect's alibi seems airtight. The next, it's riddled with holes. The tension mounts as the detective connects seemingly disparate clues. A broken compass here, a smudged telegram there, each revealing more of the truth. It's like untangling a ball of yarn, where every strand leads to another layer of complexity. What's crucial here is the balancing act of international relations aboard the ship. Each diplomatic figure is both ally and adversary, their true intentions hidden beneath layers of protocol and politeness. The detective must navigate these waters with care, aware that one false move could tip the balance into chaos. The pressure is palpable as the detective races against time, knowing that every delay could mean disaster. With each new revelation, the web of deceit becomes clearer, yet the true orchestrator of the ambassador's disappearance remains elusive. It's a classic game of cat and mouse, where every move counts, and the stakes couldn't be higher. As the chapter closes, readers are left on the edge of their seats, eager to see how the detective will unravel the final threads of this intricate mystery. Conflicting political motives. Secrets in the shadows. As the ship sails through treacherous waters, alliances shift and loyalties are tested, revealing the tangled web of international intrigue. The luxury cruise ship glides silently across the moonlit sea, its opulent interiors a stark contrast to the tension simmering beneath the surface. The grand dining salon, now a scene of whispered conversations and furtive glances, becomes a crucible for diplomatic maneuvering. The ship's promenade, with its sweeping views of the endless ocean, offers a momentary escape, but also serves as a reminder of the isolation and stakes involved. In the dimly lit cabins, shadows stretch across the walls, echoing the secrets held within. The ship's radio room, a hub of clandestine communications, crackles with coded messages that hint at deeper plots. Detective Evelyn Sinclair, with her keen eye for detail and unwavering logic, navigates the intricate world of diplomacy with a quiet confidence. Her background in international relations lends her a unique perspective, allowing her to discern the subtle nuances of political posturing. Evelyn approaches each suspect with a blend of empathy and skepticism, keenly aware that truth often lies hidden beneath layers of deception. Her methodical approach to evidence, coupled with her intuitive understanding of human nature, positions her as a formidable force in unraveling the mystery. The disappearance of Ambassador Henri Dubois has sent shockwaves through the diplomatic summit. With each nation jockeying for influence, the stakes have never been higher. The suspect circle is fraught with conflicting motives. A rival diplomat seeking to sabotage negotiations, a security officer with ties to a shadowy organization, and a purser with a hidden agenda. As Evelyn delves deeper, she uncovers a series of invisible ink notes and covert messages that suggest a broader conspiracy at play. The broken compass, once dismissed as a mere trinket, reveals a crucial clue that shifts the investigation's trajectory. Misdirection abounds as Evelyn navigates the treacherous waters of international intrigue, piecing together the puzzle with careful precision. In the grand dining salon, the tension is palpable. Diplomats from various nations sit around a table draped in fine linen, their polished manners barely concealing the underlying currents of distrust. Evelyn observes the room with a practiced eye, noting the subtle gestures and whispered conversations that betray hidden agendas. The absence of Ambassador Dubois looms large, an empty chair marking the spot where he last sat, engaged in animated discussion. On the promenade, Evelyn takes a moment to gather her thoughts. The cool night air is a welcome respite from the heated atmosphere inside. As she paces the deck, her foot catches on something small and metallic. Bending down, she discovers a broken compass, its needle spinning erratically. This seemingly innocuous object takes on a new significance as Evelyn considers its implications, a symbol of lost direction, both literal and metaphorical. Back inside, the radio room hums with activity. Evelyn listens intently as the operator intercepts a coded message, its meaning obscured by layers of encryption. The message hints at a larger conspiracy, one that extends beyond the confines of the ship. Evelyn's mind races as she pieces together the fragments of information, aware that time is of the essence. In the ambassador's cabin, Evelyn examines the scene with meticulous care. Her attention is drawn to a note on the desk, its surface blank to the naked eye. With the aid of a small lamp, she reveals the message written in invisible ink, a crucial lead that could unravel the entire mystery. The words, though cryptic, suggest a meeting that never took place, a plan interrupted by unforeseen events. Her investigation leads her to the security office, where she confronts Officer James Harper. His demeanor is calm, but Evelyn senses an undercurrent of unease. She questions him about his whereabouts during the dinner, probing for inconsistencies in his alibi. Harper's responses are measured, yet Evelyn detects a hint of defensiveness that only heightens her suspicions. Finally, Evelyn finds herself in the captain's quarters, where Captain Edward Blake maintains an air of practiced neutrality. Yet, Evelyn suspects that he holds vital information. As she lays out the clues before him, the captain's expression shifts, a flicker of recognition crossing his features. Evelyn realizes that the pieces of the puzzle are beginning to align, each clue a thread in the intricate tapestry of intrigue. As the ship approaches its next port, Evelyn gathers the key players in the grand salon. With a calm yet authoritative demeanor, she unveils the orchestrator of the disappearance, revealing a plot that extends beyond mere political rivalry. The method, involving a network of covert operatives and misdirection, is laid bare. Each clue, from the invisible ink to the broken compass, is connected in a logical sequence that leaves no doubt. The red herrings, once convincing, are debunked with precision. Evelyn's revelation not only resolves the mystery, but also underscores the fragile nature of international diplomacy, leaving the summit attendees to ponder the cost of secrecy and ambition. In the end, the case serves as a stark reminder of the delicate balance between power and trust. As the diplomats disembark, their expressions reflect a newfound awareness of the complexities that govern their world. Evelyn watches them go, her mind already turning to the next challenge. For in the realm of international intrigue, the shadows are never far behind. In the world of espionage, the overt is often a mere facade for the covert, and nowhere is this more evident than in the art of covert messages. On our luxury cruise ship, an opulent vessel that could rival the grandest of floating palaces, the stakes are as high as the seas are deep. As the ship glides through the Atlantic, carrying an international summit aboard, the disappearance of a foreign ambassador during a formal dinner sets off a chain reaction of suspicion and intrigue. The ambassador's empty chair at the table is more than just a vacancy. It is a glaring signal of the delicate balance of diplomacy gone awry. Covert messages in this context play a crucial role in the unfolding mystery. They are the whispers in the corridors, the silent nods across the room, and the invisible ink notes that hold the power to alter the course of nations. But what makes these messages so effective, and how do they fit into our narrative aboard the cruise liner? Firstly, let's consider the nature of covert messages. They are designed to be hidden in plain sight, often employing methods that are simple yet ingenious. Invisible ink, for instance, is a classic tool of espionage. It allows for communication that is both hidden and retrievable, requiring only a specific chemical or heat to reveal the message. On our ship, such a note is discovered tucked into the ambassador's belongings, a seemingly innocuous piece of stationery that, when exposed to heat, reveals a series of cryptic instructions. Then there are coded cables and telegrams, the lifeblood of communication in 1928. These messages, sent using the ship's radio, are the equivalent of today's encrypted emails. They require both a key to decipher and a keen understanding of the context to interpret correctly. A fragment of such a telegram, found crumpled in a wastebasket, becomes a pivotal clue. It hints at a clandestine meeting on the ship, but the missing parts leave much to the imagination, fueling further speculation among the suspects. But why use covert messages at all? In a setting where every word is weighed and every action scrutinized, discretion is paramount. The ship's passengers include diplomats and dignitaries from various nations, each with their own agendas and secrets. A whispered word or a misplaced note could tip the scales of international relations. Covert messages allow these players to communicate without drawing attention, to maneuver through the political minefield with the subtlety required to maintain their positions. Take, for example, the ambassador's aide, a young diplomat with a penchant for puzzles. His role is to ensure that his superior's intentions are carried out without a hitch. He uses a broken compass as a decoy, a symbol of misdirection that serves a dual purpose. To the untrained eye, it is merely a malfunctioning navigational tool. But to those in the know, it is a signal that the ambassador has altered his course, both literally and figuratively. This compass, discovered in the ambassador's cabin, becomes a key piece of evidence, its true significance only revealed as the investigation unfolds. Furthermore, the ship's manifest and cabin ledger offer a wealth of information. On the surface, they are records of the comings and goings of passengers and crew. However, a discrepancy in these documents, a cabin listed as unoccupied yet clearly in use, suggests a clandestine meeting place. This anomaly, initially dismissed as a clerical error, is later revealed to be a deliberate attempt to conceal the movements of a key player in the ambassador's disappearance. As the detective delves deeper into the mystery, the role of covert messages becomes increasingly clear. Each clue, whether it be a lipstick stain on a glass or a matchbook with an unfamiliar logo, is a piece of a larger puzzle. These messages, though subtle, are powerful tools of manipulation and misdirection. They shape the narrative, guiding the detective and the reader alike through a labyrinth of intrigue and deception. Consider the ship's dining menu, a seemingly innocuous artifact of the voyage. Yet upon closer inspection, it reveals a pattern of seating arrangements, a coded map of alliances and enmities among the diplomats. The ambassador's seat, conspicuously placed between two rival factions, suggests a deliberate attempt to broker peace, or perhaps to sow discord. This subtlety, hidden within the mundane, exemplifies the elegance of covert communication. In unraveling the web of covert messages, the detective must rely on both intuition and logic. It is a delicate dance, akin to deciphering a symphony of silence. Each note, each pause, is laden with meaning. The detective's background in linguistics and cryptography provides a unique advantage, allowing them to see beyond the obvious and interpret the hidden messages with precision. The important thing to remember is that covert messages are not just tools of espionage. They are reflections of the human condition. They reveal our desires, our fears, and our ambitions. They are the whispered confessions and the unspoken threats that drive the narrative forward. In the context of our mystery, they are the threads that weave together the disparate elements of the plot, creating a tapestry of intrigue that captivates and confounds in equal measure. As the investigation reaches its climax, the detective's ability to decode these messages becomes the key to solving the case. Each clue, each piece of evidence, is reinterpreted in light of the covert communications. The ambassador's disappearance, initially a baffling enigma, is revealed to be a carefully orchestrated maneuver, a masterstroke of diplomacy and deception. In the end, the resolution of the mystery hinges on the detective's understanding of the role of covert messages. It is a testament to the power of the unseen, the unspoken, and the unacknowledged. As the final pieces fall into place, the true significance of each message is laid bare, revealing not only the identity of the orchestrator, but also the intricate dance of diplomacy that lies at the heart of the story. In this world of whispers and shadows, the detective emerges victorious, having navigated the treacherous waters of international intrigue with skill and finesse. The lessons learned aboard the cruise ship are not easily forgotten, serving as a reminder of the enduring power of covert messages in the art of espionage. The quiet of the ship's library was a stark contrast to the bustling decks above. Here, the detective found solace amid the rows of leather-bound volumes, the dim lighting casting long shadows across the polished wood. The low hum of the ship's engine served as a constant reminder that time was slipping away, each minute bringing them closer to the next port and further from the truth. It was in this secluded haven that the detective began the intricate task of piecing together the puzzle of the vanished ambassador. On the table lay a collection of seemingly unrelated items, an invisible ink note, a broken compass, and a fragment of a telegram. Each artifact was a thread, delicate yet potent, capable of unraveling a web of deceit if examined with precision. The detective, renowned for their keen observation skills and methodical approach, knew that the devil was in the details. As they spread the evidence before them, the atmosphere thickened with tension, each clue a potential key to unlocking the mystery. The invisible ink note, once exposed to heat, revealed a message of urgency, an arrangement for a meeting that never took place. It spoke of plans interrupted, of intentions thwarted. The detective pondered the implications. Who was the note intended for, and why had the meeting been abandoned? The answer, they suspected, was entangled with the ambassador's disappearance. Next, the detective turned their attention to the broken compass, retrieved from the ambassador's cabin. It was more than a mere navigational tool. It was a symbol of lost direction, both literal and metaphorical. The compass's glass face was shattered, the needle frozen in a perpetual state of indecision. Was this an act of sabotage? The detective considered the possibility of misdirection, a common tactic in the world of espionage. As they contemplated these clues, a knock at the door interrupted their thoughts. It was the ship's purser, bringing news of a discrepancy in the cabin ledger. A passenger's name appeared twice, suggesting an alias or perhaps a hidden accomplice. This revelation added a new layer to the investigation, hinting at a clandestine network operating under the guise of diplomacy. The detective's mind raced with possibilities. They recalled a conversation overheard on the ship's promenade, where two diplomats from rival nations had exchanged tense words. Could this be connected to the ambassador's disappearance? It was a lead worth pursuing, a thread that might weave through the tapestry of intrigue enveloping the ship. With each clue, the detective's understanding deepened, yet the picture remained incomplete. The suspects' alibis were as varied as their motives, each with something to gain from the ambassador's absence. Yet the detective knew that within this web of deceit lay a single truth waiting to be uncovered. The challenge was in the unraveling, in discerning the genuine from the fabricated. As the detective delved deeper, they re-examined the suspects' stories, searching for inconsistencies. The ambassador's disappearance had sent ripples through the diplomatic community, each nation on board with its own agenda, its own secrets to protect. The detective had to navigate these treacherous waters, aware that each step brought them closer to the truth, but also increased the risk of exposure. The tension mounted as the detective pieced together the puzzle. Each discovery was a double-edged sword, revealing new insights while raising new questions. The clock was ticking, the ship moving inexorably towards its next destination. The detective felt the weight of the investigation, the urgency to solve the case before the opportunity slipped away. In this high-stakes game of cat and mouse, the detectives' analytical prowess was their greatest asset. They approached each clue with a critical eye, aware that the smallest detail could hold the key to the entire mystery. It was a dance of logic and intuition, of deduction and inference, as they sought to untangle the web of lies surrounding the ambassador's disappearance. The detective's journey was as much about the process as it was about the outcome. Each step brought them closer to understanding the broader political motives at play, the invisible currents of espionage that flowed beneath the surface. The stakes were high, the pressure mounting with each passing moment. This subchapter is a testament to the detective's skill and determination, a showcase of their ability to build tension through logical clue work. It draws readers into the heart of the investigation, inviting them to experience the thrill of the chase, the satisfaction of piecing together the puzzle. As the detective navigates the intricate dance of diplomacy and espionage, the emotional journey is one of mounting pressure and anticipation, a reminder of the high stakes involved in unraveling the truth. Ultimately, this section of the story is about more than just solving a mystery. It's about exploring the complex interplay of loyalty and deception, of trust and betrayal. It invites readers to consider the broader implications of the detective's work, the impact of their discoveries on the delicate balance of international relations. In doing so, it delivers genuine value, offering insights into the timeless themes of intrigue and suspense that continue to captivate audiences today. Chapter 7, The Final Pieces. As the detective paced the deck, the salty air filled with tension, he knew the time had come to reassemble the puzzle. The once seemingly unrelated clues were now whispering their truths, ready to reveal the hidden narrative aboard the luxury liner. It was like a grand game of chess, each piece poised for a final move. First, there was the invisible ink note, a seemingly innocuous piece of stationery that, when held to the light, revealed a clandestine meeting schedule. It was a bold move, the kind only a desperate diplomat would make. Then, the broken compass, not just a symbol of lost direction, but a tool cleverly sabotaged to mislead the ship's course, suggesting a deliberate diversion. The detective's sharp eyes caught the subtle smudge of lipstick on a wine glass, a trace of a secret liaison that complicated the diplomatic dance. Meanwhile, a ship manifest discrepancy hinted at an unregistered passenger, a ghost aboard the ship with motives as murky as the ocean depths. As the detective pieced together these elements, suspicions shifted. The ambassador's disappearance was not just an isolated incident, but a carefully orchestrated maneuver, intertwined with political motives and personal vendettas. Each clue, once a red herring, now aligned to illuminate the truth. With each revelation, the tension among the diplomats thickened, their polite facades cracking under the weight of suspicion. The detective's methodical approach, a blend of intuition and logic, was about to unravel the most complex of mysteries, setting the stage for the grand reveal. It was time to see how every piece fit into this intricate mosaic of espionage and deceit. As the detective revisits the tapestry of evidence, shadows shift, and the truth begins to emerge, leading to a startling revelation. The drawing room of the luxury cruise ship was a study in contrasts. Rich mahogany paneling and plush furnishings spoke of opulence, yet the room was dimly lit, casting long shadows that danced across a sea of papers, notes, and maps strewn about. The air was thick with tension and the faint scent of cigar smoke, a testament to the intense deliberations that had taken place here. Outside, the ocean remained calm, a stark contrast to the storm of possibilities swirling in the detective's mind. Detective name, was known for a methodical approach, blending logical deduction with an uncanny ability to see patterns where others saw chaos. Their meticulous nature was both a strength and a quirk, often leading them to rely on a combination of intuition and empirical evidence. In this chapter, Detective Name would demonstrate their unique skill of reinterpreting clues that seemed insignificant or misleading at first glance. The disappearance of Ambassador Name had left a diplomatic void, with tensions rising among the international representatives aboard. The ambassador's absence was not just a mystery, but a potential catalyst for international discord. As Detective Name revisited the clues, a broken compass found in the ambassador's cabin, an invisible ink note discovered under a dinner plate, and a ship manifest with a curious discrepancy. Each piece of evidence was re-examined with fresh eyes. The suspects, including Suspect 1, Suspect 2, and Suspect 3, were each brought back into focus. Their motives were reanalyzed, and the detective began to see the interwoven threads of deception and truth. The detective's interactions with these characters revealed subtle shifts in their stories, small contradictions that, when pieced together, began to form a coherent picture. Invisible ink. Note: initially dismissed as a prank, the note's true message was revealed under the glow of a special lamp. The message altered the detective's understanding of the ambassador's last actions, suggesting a clandestine meeting that had gone unreported. Broken compass. Once thought to be a mere accident, the compass's damage was now seen as a deliberate act, pointing to a misdirection in the ambassador's intended path. The compass, with its needle forcibly bent, suggested a deliberate attempt to lead the ambassador astray. Manifest discrepancy. A seemingly minor error in the ship's manifest now suggested a carefully orchestrated plan to obscure the ambassador's true movements. The discrepancy, initially overlooked, hinted at a clandestine change in cabin assignments, possibly to facilitate a secret meeting. Lipstick stain. A lipstick stain on a napkin, previously overlooked, was linked to a suspect, providing a crucial connection to the ambassador's last known location. The stain, a shade unique to one of the suspects, placed them at the scene during the critical time frame. As the detective pieced together these clues, the narrative built towards a crescendo. The detective's deductions led them to a new suspect, shifting the focus and heightening the tension. Each revelation was a step closer to the truth, and the detective's growing certainty provided a sense of impending resolution. The emotional stakes were high, as the detective's reputation and the delicate balance of international diplomacy hung in the balance. The detective's approach was both logical and intuitive. They understood that each clue was a piece of a larger puzzle, and only by seeing the whole picture could they hope to solve the mystery. The detective's interactions with the suspects were carefully calculated, designed to elicit reactions and uncover hidden truths. As the detective reinterpreted the clues, they began to see the connections that had eluded them before. In a tense confrontation with Suspect 1, the detective revealed the significance of the lipstick stain, watching for any telltale signs of guilt. The suspect's reaction, a fleeting look of surprise followed by a hasty denial, only confirmed the detective's suspicions. Similarly, the detective's questioning of Suspect 2 about the broken compass revealed inconsistencies in their story, further strengthening the case against them. With each revelation, the detective's confidence grew. They knew they were closing in on the truth, and the pressure was mounting. The detective's mind was a whirlwind of possibilities, each new insight bringing them closer to the resolution of the case. The stakes were high, but the detective was undeterred, driven by a desire to uncover the truth and restore order to the delicate world of international diplomacy. The chapter ended with the detective ready to confront the suspect, setting the stage for the dramatic reveal in the next chapter. The detective's deductions had led them to a new suspect, and the tension was palpable. The detective's growing certainty provided a sense of impending resolution, and the emotional stakes were high, as the detective's reputation and the delicate balance of international diplomacy hung in the balance. This subchapter seamlessly transitioned into the next, the grand reveal, where the detective would confront the orchestrator of the disappearance, unraveling the mystery in a climactic showdown that tied together all the threads of deception and intrigue. The detective's journey was far from over, but they were one step closer to solving the mystery and restoring order to the world of international diplomacy. As the luxury cruise liner gently sliced through the moonlit waves of the Atlantic, a sense of anticipation hung in the air like the lingering notes of a distant violin. The ship was a floating palace, a testament to the opulence of 1928, with its grand dining salons, promenades, and cabins adorned in Art Deco splendor. But beneath the veneer of elegance lay the undercurrents of intrigue and diplomacy, as representatives from various nations gathered for a clandestine summit on board. This was no ordinary voyage. It was a delicate dance of espionage and negotiation, where every gesture and glance could tip the scales of international relations. In this chapter, we delve into the crucial phase of preparing for the resolution of a mystery that has gripped the ship's illustrious passengers. The disappearance of a foreign ambassador during a formal dinner has set the stage for a high-stakes game of deduction, where the truth is as elusive as the ambassador himself. Our detective, with a keen eye for detail and an unyielding sense of justice, must navigate a labyrinth of clues and red herrings to bring clarity to the chaos. The detective, a gentleman of refined demeanor and sharp intellect, approaches the case with a methodical precision reminiscent of a chess master contemplating his next move. His reputation precedes him, a man who values evidence over emotion, yet never underestimates the power of human nature. He knows that solving this mystery requires not just an understanding of facts, but also an insight into the hearts and minds of those involved. As the detective paces the polished teak decks, he reflects on the political ramifications of the ambassador's disappearance. This was not merely a matter of personal intrigue, it was a diplomatic crisis that could alter the balance of power among nations. Each suspect at the dinner table had something to gain or lose from the ambassador's vanishing act. The stakes were as high as the tension that simmered beneath the polite conversations and formalities. The suspect list was as diverse as the nations represented. A rival diplomat with a history of contentious negotiations, a ship's purser whose ledger had curious discrepancies, a steward with access to every corner of the vessel, and a fellow ambassador whose ambitions were as grand as his country's aspirations. Each had motives that intertwined with their nation's interests, creating a web of potential culprits and alliances. Key clues began to emerge, each one a piece of the puzzle that promised to reveal the bigger picture. An invisible ink note, discovered on the ambassador's stationery, hinted at secret communications. A broken compass, found in the ambassador's cabin, suggested deliberate sabotage. The ship's manifest held irregularities that pointed to a carefully orchestrated plan. Telegram fragments and coded cables hinted at covert messages exchanged under the guise of diplomacy. Yet, as each clue was uncovered, the detective was reminded of the art of misdirection, a classic technique in the world of espionage. The invisible ink could be a decoy, the broken compass a distraction. The challenge was to discern truth from deception, to see beyond the obvious and grasp the subtle nuances of each revelation. As the detective delved deeper into the investigation, he began to piece together the motives and alibis of each suspect. The rival diplomat had been seen leaving the dining salon moments before the disappearance, but his alibi was supported by a fellow guest. The purser's ledger discrepancies were explained away as clerical errors, yet the detective sensed there was more beneath the surface. The steward's access to the ship's inner workings made him a prime suspect, but his loyalty to the crew seemed genuine. In this intricate dance of deduction, the detective knew that every action, every word, had to be weighed carefully. The pressure was mounting, the stakes higher than ever, as the clock ticked towards a resolution. The detective's mind raced with possibilities, each theory tested and retested against the evidence at hand. As the investigation unfolded, the detective found himself drawn to the ship's radio room, a hub of communication where messages were transmitted and received with the precision of a well-oiled machine. It was here that he discovered a telegram excerpt, partially burned, that hinted at a clandestine meeting scheduled for the night of the disappearance. The significance of this clue was not lost on the detective. It was a thread that could unravel the entire mystery. With each passing hour, the detective's resolve hardened. He knew that the resolution was within reach, that the truth was waiting to be uncovered. But he also understood that the path to clarity was fraught with challenges, that the art of deduction required patience and perseverance. In the grand dining salon, where the disappearance had taken place, the detective revisited the scene, his eyes scanning the room for details that might have been overlooked. He noted the placement of chairs, the arrangement of cutlery, the subtle scents that lingered in the air. Each observation was a piece of the puzzle, each detail a step closer to the resolution. The detective's mind was a whirlwind of thoughts, each one a possibility, a potential path to the truth. He knew that the resolution required not just logic, but also intuition, a sense of knowing that transcended facts and figures. It was this blend of intellect and instinct that would guide him to the answer, that would bring clarity to the mystery that had gripped the ship. As the chapter draws to a close, the detective stands on the brink of discovery, the resolution tantalizingly close. The clues have been gathered, the suspects scrutinized, the motives analyzed. All that remains is to connect the dots, to see the pattern that has eluded him until now. The resolution is near, and with it, the truth that has been hidden in the shadows will finally come to light. Chapter 8, The Grand Reveal. The dining salon was abuzz with anticipation as the detective, a figure of quiet confidence, rose to address the gathered diplomats. The time had come for the grand reveal. With a slight nod, he began to weave the intricate tapestry of truth, unmasking the orchestrator behind the ambassador's mysterious disappearance. "Ladies and gentlemen," he started, his voice steady yet compelling, "the mastermind behind this baffling vanishing act is none other than Countess Vivienne Duval." A collective gasp rippled through the room. The Countess, renowned for her charm and cunning, had cleverly manipulated the situation to advance her nation's interests. The detective explained how each major clue fits seamlessly into this elaborate puzzle. The broken compass found in the ambassador's cabin was no mere accident. It symbolized the deliberate misdirection orchestrated by the Countess, ensuring the ambassador's path went awry. The invisible ink notes, discovered hidden within innocuous telegrams, revealed covert messages exchanged between the Countess and her co-conspirators. What's crucial here, the detective emphasized, is how these clues, seemingly disparate, connect through a web of deceit. The political ramifications were immense. The ambassador's disappearance was intended to destabilize the summit, tipping the delicate balance of power in favor of the Countess's nation. As the detective concluded, acknowledging the complexities of diplomacy entwined with espionage, the room erupted in applause. The mystery was resolved, leaving the audience with a profound sense of closure. The detective's prowess was lauded, and the themes of loyalty and deception lingered, offering a deeper understanding of the intricate dance of international relations. In the opulent library of the luxury cruise ship, where mahogany shelves groaned under the weight of leather-bound tomes, the detective stood poised to unravel the mystery that had gripped everyone aboard. The air was thick with tension, a mix of anticipation and dread, as diplomats and suspects gathered for the debriefing. The ship, a floating palace of indulgence and secrecy, had become the stage for an international intrigue that could alter the course of nations. The detective, renowned for their keen observation and logical deduction, began by revisiting the timeline of the ambassador's disappearance. The ambassador's last appearance was at the dinner table, a scene as polished as the silverware that adorned it. The detective's voice, calm and authoritative, cut through the murmurs as they connected the dots between seemingly disparate clues. First, the invisible ink note found in the ambassador's cabin. A seemingly innocuous piece of stationery, it held secrets only revealed under the right light. Then, the broken compass discovered in the dining salon, a symbol of misdirection both literal and metaphorical. And finally, the irregularities in the ship's manifest, subtle but significant. Each clue was methodically explained, revealing a tapestry of deception woven to mislead the investigation. Turning to motive, the detective peeled back the layers of political intrigue. The ambassador's disappearance, they explained, was a calculated maneuver designed to disrupt the summit. It was orchestrated by a rival diplomat with ambitions that stretched beyond mere politics. Evidence of covert communications between the orchestrator and their allies was presented, hidden within telegram fragments and coded messages. The detective's insights into the orchestrator's psychological profile painted a picture of a character driven by ambition and fear, a potent mix that often leads to desperate acts. The crescendo of the subchapter was the detective's explanation of how the ambassador was spirited away. Utilizing the ship's hidden passageways and the chaos of the dinner, the plan was executed with chilling simplicity. It was a masterstroke of ingenuity, leaving the gathered diplomats in stunned silence, their minds racing with the implications of what they had just learned. As the detective concluded, they addressed the red herrings that had confounded the investigation. The glove smudge on the ambassador's chair, the misplaced lipstick stain, and the misleading map bearings. Each was revealed as a deliberate misdirection, designed to implicate innocent parties and sow discord. The emotional journey of this subchapter was one of revelation and resolution. The detective's methodical breakdown of events provided a satisfying clarity, while the exposure of the orchestrator's motive added depth to the narrative's exploration of loyalty, deception, and the fragile nature of international diplomacy. The reader is left with a profound understanding of the delicate dance of espionage and the cost of ambition. This subchapter seamlessly bridges the preceding tension-filled investigations with the upcoming political ramifications, ensuring a smooth narrative flow. The detective's revelations not only resolve the mystery, but also set the stage for the broader implications of the case, maintaining the story's logical progression and conversational tone. In the hushed aftermath, the detective addressed the room, their voice steady and clear. "What we must remember," they began, "is the nature of ambition. It can drive us to greatness, but unchecked, it can lead us down darker paths. The orchestrator of this disappearance sought to shift the balance of power to tip the scales in their favor. But in doing so, they underestimated the power of truth and the resilience of those who seek it." The diplomats, a mix of relief and contemplation on their faces, began to disperse, each pondering the detective's words. The library, once a scene of tension, now felt like a sanctuary of understanding and resolution. The detective remained, their gaze lingering on the shelves, their mind already turning to the broader implications of the case. As the ship continued its voyage, the events of the past days would become part of its legend, whispered in corridors and recounted over dinner. The ambassador's disappearance, once a mystery, had been solved, but the lessons it imparted would linger long after the ship docked at its final destination. The detective, with their reputation intact and their resolve unshaken, had once again proven that in the world of espionage and diplomacy, the truth, though elusive, is always within reach for those who dare to seek it. The grand dining salon of the luxury cruise ship was a study in opulence, its chandeliers casting a warm glow over the assembled diplomats and dignitaries. The tension in the room was palpable, the air thick with anticipation as the detective prepared to address the gathered crowd. It was a scene reminiscent of a theater just before the curtain rises, each person in attendance acutely aware that the next few moments could alter the course of international relations. Standing at the head of the room, the detective exuded a calm authority, their presence commanding attention. With a measured gaze that swept across the room, they began to unravel the intricate web of clues that led to the discovery of the orchestrator behind the ambassador's disappearance. It was a tale of cunning and deceit, one that involved a broken compass, invisible ink notes, and the delicate dance of diplomacy. As the detective spoke, the room fell silent, each word carefully chosen to convey the gravity of the situation. The ambassador's disappearance was not merely a personal vendetta. It was a calculated move designed to shift alliances and destabilize ongoing diplomatic negotiations. The detective's methodical explanation highlighted their prowess, weaving together seemingly disparate clues into a coherent narrative that revealed the true motives behind the plot. The detective paused, allowing the weight of their words to settle over the room. It was a moment of introspection for many, as diplomats from various nations grappled with the implications for their respective countries. The revelation was met with a mix of heated exchanges and quiet contemplation, the room a microcosm of the broader political landscape aboard the ship. One diplomat, a seasoned statesman with a penchant for dramatic flair, leaned forward in his seat, his voice carrying a hint of incredulity. "So, you're telling us that the broken compass was not just a navigational error, but a deliberate attempt to mislead us?" he queried, his eyes narrowing in suspicion. The detective nodded, a slight smile playing at the corners of their lips. "Indeed, the broken compass was a masterstroke of misdirection," they replied. "It was strategically placed to sow discord and confusion among the nations present, a subtle yet powerful tool in the orchestrator's arsenal." Another diplomat, this one younger and less experienced, chimed in, her voice tinged with concern. "And the invisible ink notes? How did they factor into this plot? The detective's expression turned serious, their gaze steady. The invisible ink notes were used to convey covert messages, instructions that were meant to be seen only by those who knew how to reveal them. They were a means of communication that bypassed traditional channels, ensuring that the orchestrator could manipulate events behind the scenes. As the detective continued to connect each major clue to the orchestrator's motives, the narrative shifted to a broader discussion of the political ramifications. The disappearance of the ambassador had been a catalyst for potential chaos, a spark that could have ignited a firestorm of diplomatic tensions. The detective elucidated how each piece of evidence, from the broken compass to the invisible ink, was part of a larger plan to destabilize the summit and shift the balance of power. In the wake of the revelation, the room was abuzz with speculation and debate. Key diplomats reacted to the news in different ways, each grappling with the implications for their respective countries. Some were visibly relieved, their fears of a larger conspiracy allayed by the detective's insights. Others remained skeptical, wary of the potential fallout from the incident. One particularly vocal diplomat, known for his fiery rhetoric, stood up to address the room. "This incident has shown us the fragility of our alliances," he declared, his voice resonating with conviction. "We must be vigilant in safeguarding our interests and ensuring that such plots do not succeed in the future." His words were met with nods of agreement from several quarters, a testament to the shared understanding of the stakes involved. The detective's role in preserving the fragile balance of power was acknowledged, their impartiality and focus on the truth underscored as a testament to their character. As the discussion continued, the detective took a moment to reflect on the personal growth they had experienced over the course of the investigation. Navigating such a politically charged environment had been a challenge, one that required a delicate balance of diplomacy and deduction. Yet through it all, they had remained steadfast in their pursuit of the truth, a quality that had ultimately led to the resolution of the case. In conclusion, the subchapter provided a smooth transition to the final resolution of the parent chapter. As the diplomatic tensions began to ease and the ship resumed its course, there was a sense of closure, a recognition that the threat had been neutralized and order restored. The themes of loyalty, deception, and the art of negotiation were reinforced, offering readers a deeper understanding of the interplay between diplomacy and espionage. As the ship sailed on, the detective's thoughts turned to the future, to the challenges that lay ahead. The case had been a reminder of the complexities of international relations, of the delicate balance that must be maintained to ensure peace and stability. It was a lesson that would serve them well in the days to come, a testament to the enduring power of truth and justice in a world fraught with intrigue and uncertainty. Chapter 9, Lessons from the Case. In the intricate dance of loyalty and deception, our detective's journey aboard the luxury liner offers a masterclass in balancing diplomacy and espionage. What makes this work is the detective's unique ability to navigate the murky waters of international relations with both tact and tenacity. Beyond that, their methodical approach to unraveling the ambassador's disappearance provides valuable insights into the art of deduction. Consider the detective's use of seemingly mundane details, like a broken compass or an invisible ink note. These weren't just clues, they were keys to understanding the broader political motives at play. The deciding factor is how these elements were woven together, illustrating the delicate interplay of trust and betrayal that defines international diplomacy. As an illustration, when the detective discovered the altered compass, it wasn't just a navigational error. It was a metaphor for the shifting allegiances among the diplomats. This subtlety highlights the importance of perspective in both detective work and global politics. By piecing together these clues, the detective not only solved the mystery, but also exposed the underlying tensions that could have far-reaching implications. The outcome is reliable. Readers are left with a deeper appreciation for the nuances of the mystery genre and the complexities of real-world diplomacy. As you reflect on the detective's growth and the challenges faced, consider how these lessons of loyalty and deception might apply to your own life. Whether in personal relationships or professional endeavors, understanding the motives behind actions can be as enlightening as the mystery itself. In the intricate dance of diplomacy and espionage, the boundaries between loyalty and deception blur like the horizon at sea. On the luxurious cruise ship, where elegance masks intrigue, the disappearance of a foreign ambassador during a formal dinner sets the stage for a mystery steeped in these very themes. As we delve into this chapter, we reflect on the nature of loyalty and deception, exploring how these forces shape the unfolding drama aboard the vessel. Understanding loyalty, a double-edged sword. Loyalty, in its purest form, is a steadfast allegiance to a cause or individual. But in the world of international diplomacy, it often becomes a double-edged sword. For instance, consider the ambassador, whose loyalty to his nation might compel him to engage in covert activities, even if it means deceiving those closest to him. This is where the tension lies. Loyalty can lead to deception, as individuals navigate the murky waters of conflicting allegiances. On the ship, diplomats from various nations gather under the guise of cooperation, each with their own agendas. The ambassador's disappearance throws these loyalties into question. Was he a victim of betrayal, or did he orchestrate his own vanishing act to serve a greater purpose? The detective must untangle these threads, understanding that loyalty is not always synonymous with honesty. The facade of deception, masks and mirrors, deception, by contrast, is the art of concealment, a necessary tool in the arsenal of any diplomat or spy. On the cruise ship, deception is as common as the ocean breeze. Invisible ink notes pass hands, and broken compasses mislead those who seek the truth. The ship itself, with its opulent dining salons and shadowy promenades, provides the perfect backdrop for such subterfuge. Take, for example, a particular dinner guest who seems overly interested in the ambassador's affairs. Their loyalty to their own nation might drive them to deceive others, planting false clues to divert attention from their true intentions. This is the essence of deception, the ability to create a facade so convincing that it becomes indistinguishable from reality. The detective must see beyond these masks, discerning the truth hidden beneath layers of artifice. Case study. The invisible ink note. One of the pivotal clues in the case is an invisible ink note discovered on the ambassador's stationery. At first glance, it's a simple piece of paper, but under the right conditions, it reveals a message that could unravel the entire mystery. This note serves as a metaphor for deception itself. What appears innocuous may hold the key to understanding the ambassador's fate. What's crucial here is the detective's ability to interpret the note's significance. Rather than taking it at face value, they must consider the context. Who sent it, why it was hidden, and what it reveals about the ambassador's loyalties. This approach works well in understanding the complex interplay of loyalty and deception, highlighting the detective's skill in logical clue work. Reflections on loyalty and deception. As the investigation unfolds, the detective encounters individuals whose loyalties are as fluid as the ocean itself. Each suspect harbors secrets, their motives hidden behind a veneer of diplomacy. The ambassador's disappearance forces these characters to reveal their true colors, their deceptions unraveling under the detective's scrutiny. For instance, a rival diplomat may have orchestrated the ambassador's disappearance to gain leverage in the summit. Their loyalty to their nation drives them to deceive others, creating a web of lies that ensnares the unwary. Along the same lines, a seemingly loyal aide might have been coerced into betraying their employer, their deception a desperate act of self-preservation. What's fascinating is how these scenarios reflect the broader themes of loyalty and deception. In the world of espionage, loyalty is rarely absolute, and deception is a necessary evil. The detective's challenge lies in distinguishing genuine allegiance from calculated deceit, a task that requires both intuition and analytical prowess. Lessons from the case. Reflecting on the case, we see consistently that loyalty and deception are two sides of the same coin. In the high-stakes world of international diplomacy, individuals must navigate these forces with caution, aware that their actions could have far-reaching consequences. The detective's role is to uncover the truth, piecing together clues to reveal the hidden motivations driving each character. For readers, the case offers valuable insights into the nature of loyalty and deception. It reminds us that appearances can be deceiving, and that understanding the motives behind actions is key to unraveling complex mysteries. By examining the interplay of these forces, we gain a deeper appreciation for the challenges faced by those who operate in the shadows of diplomacy and espionage. Conclusion: navigating the waters of loyalty and deception. In conclusion, the ambassador's disappearance aboard the luxury cruise ship serves as a poignant reminder of the delicate balance between loyalty and deception. As the detective navigates this treacherous terrain, they uncover the intricate web of alliances and betrayals that define the world of international diplomacy. Through logical clue work and keen observation, they reveal the truth hidden beneath layers of artifice, demonstrating that in the end, loyalty and deception are but two sides of the same coin. As you reflect on the themes of this chapter, consider how loyalty and deception play a role in your own life. Whether in personal relationships or professional endeavors, understanding these forces can help you navigate complex situations with greater clarity and insight. Just as the detective unravels the mystery aboard the ship, you too can uncover the truth hidden beneath the surface, guided by a keen awareness of the interplay between loyalty and deception. Introduction to Detective's Approach. Imagine stepping onto a luxury cruise ship in 1928, where elegance and intrigue dance a delicate waltz. Our detective, a character as enigmatic as the mysteries they unravel, stands out with a unique blend of quirks and a razor-sharp mind. With an eye for detail that could rival a hawk's and a methodical approach reminiscent of the great detectives of the Golden Age, they navigate the ship's complex social environment with ease. Their background, steeped in both academia and the undercurrents of espionage, equips them with a toolkit unlike any other. As the diplomatic summit unfolds, tensions simmer beneath the polished veneer, and our detectives' keen observational skills become the compass guiding them through the labyrinth of deception and diplomacy, evidence gathering and logical reasoning. When it comes to gathering evidence, our detective treats each clue as a piece of a grand puzzle. Picture them meticulously cataloging items like a broken compass, which at first glance seems merely symbolic, but soon reveals its practical significance. Invisible ink notes, seemingly innocuous, become threads in the tapestry of intrigue. The detective's ability to discern patterns from the subtle shifts in diplomatic conversations is a testament to their logical prowess. It's not just about collecting evidence, it's about weaving these disparate threads into a coherent narrative. Their knack for connecting dots others overlook leads to breakthroughs that propel the investigation forward, inching closer to the truth hidden in plain sight. Interpersonal skills and diplomacy. In the high-stakes world of international diplomacy, words are weapons, and our detective wields them with precision. Their interactions with suspects and key figures aboard the ship reveal an adeptness at extracting information through conversation. Imagine them engaging in a seemingly casual chat, only to subtly steer the dialogue towards revealing truths hidden beneath layers of politeness. Understanding cultural nuances is crucial, and our detective reads between the lines of diplomatic exchanges with the finesse of a seasoned diplomat. Balancing the need to probe for truth with the sensitivity required in such a politically charged environment is no easy feat, yet they manage it with aplomb, ensuring that each interaction brings them closer to unraveling the mystery. Adaptability and problem-solving. As the investigation unfolds, adaptability becomes the detective's greatest ally. New information and shifting circumstances demand a flexible approach, and our detective rises to the challenge. Picture them reevaluating theories and recalibrating their methods, much like a sailor adjusting sails to the changing winds. This adaptability is crucial in navigating the misdirections and red herrings cunningly planted by the orchestrator of the ambassador's disappearance. Each twist and turn in the investigation is met with a calm resilience, as the detective remains steadfast in their pursuit of the truth, ever ready to pivot and rethink strategies as the situation demands. Emotional and ethical considerations. The emotional journey of our detective is as compelling as the mystery itself. With each step closer to the truth, they grapple with ethical dilemmas that test their resolve. Imagine the weight of potential political fallout hanging over their every decision, the personal cost of their relentless pursuit of justice becoming ever more apparent. Loyalty and deception are twin themes that echo throughout the investigation, and our detective's introspection adds a layer of depth to their character. This inner turmoil not only enriches the narrative, but also reinforces the broader themes at play, inviting readers to ponder the complexities of loyalty in a world rife with deception. Conclusion and transition. As we reach the conclusion of our analysis, it's clear that the detective's methods are as much about personal growth as they are about solving the mystery. Their journey aboard the luxury cruise ship is a testament to the power of keen observation, logical reasoning, and adaptability. Through their approach, we gain insights into the intricacies of international relations, where every action has a ripple effect. As we transition to the final reflections in the parent chapter, Lessons from the Case, we're invited to apply these insights to our understanding of the real world, where the themes of loyalty and deception continue to resonate. The detective's methods not only bring resolution to the mystery, but also offer a lens through which we can view the complexities of our own lives, making this tale of espionage and diplomacy a timeless exploration of human nature. Introduction to diplomatic intrigue. Imagine a world where every smile hides a secret, and every handshake could be the beginning of a betrayal. Welcome aboard the luxury cruise ship, a floating microcosm of global politics where loyalty and deception dance a delicate tango. This ship, hosting a secret international summit, is more than just a vessel. It's a stage where the fate of nations is quietly debated behind closed doors. The sudden disappearance of an ambassador during a formal dinner is not just a mystery. It's a catalyst that reveals hidden agendas and unexpected alliances among the diplomats on board. The intrigue is palpable, with each character playing a part in this high-stakes game of diplomacy and espionage. The detective's analysis. Enter our detective, a figure of methodical brilliance and quiet determination. Unlike the emotionally charged atmosphere around them, they approach the tangled web of political motives with a cool, logical mindset. Their eyes miss nothing, from the subtle shimmer of invisible ink on a note to the peculiar way a broken compass points in the wrong direction. Each clue, seemingly unrelated, slowly forms a picture of the truth. The detective's journey is one of growth, as they navigate the complexities of diplomacy and espionage, learning to read between the lines and understand the unspoken words that carry the weight of nations. As the detective delves deeper, they uncover clues that others might overlook. Invisible ink notes whisper secrets only visible under certain lights, and a broken compass, both symbolic and practical, points to a deeper mystery. These elements, combined with the detective's growing understanding of the political landscape, bring them closer to unraveling the truth behind the ambassador's disappearance. This journey is not just about solving a mystery, it's about understanding the intricate dance of diplomacy and the subtle art of espionage, the interplay of espionage and diplomacy. Espionage and diplomacy are two sides of the same coin, each influencing the other in a delicate balance of power. On this cruise ship, covert messages and invisible ink serve as symbols of the hidden communications between nations. The diplomats, each driven by conflicting political motives, navigate this treacherous landscape with personal stakes that could tip the scales of international relations. The tension is palpable, with every conversation carrying the weight of potential alliances or betrayals. This interplay creates a suspenseful atmosphere, keeping both the characters and readers on edge. The stakes are high, and the consequences of each decision ripple through the diplomatic waters. As the story unfolds, the detective's role becomes increasingly crucial, as they piece together the puzzle of hidden motives and secret alliances. The suspense builds, leading to moments of revelation that shift the reader's understanding of the story and its characters. Key revelations and emotional journey. As the investigation progresses, key revelations come to light, altering the course of the narrative and the reader's perception of the story. The true purpose of the summit and the real reason behind the ambassador's disappearance are unveiled, turning the investigation on its head. These moments of revelation are not just plot twists, they are emotional milestones for the characters, particularly the detective, who must grapple with the larger political game at play and the personal stakes involved for each character. Each revelation feels inevitable in hindsight, a testament to the carefully crafted narrative arc. The detective's realization of the broader implications of their investigation adds depth to their character, as they confront the moral complexities of their role. The emotional intensity of these moments resonates with readers, drawing them deeper into the story and its themes of loyalty, deception, and the high stakes of international diplomacy. Bridging to the next chapter. As the chapter draws to a close, the stage is set for the grand reveal of the orchestrator behind the ambassador's disappearance. The detective, armed with newfound insights and a deeper understanding of the political landscape, prepares for the final resolution. The political ramifications of the case's outcome loom large, hinting at the broader impact on international relations and the detective's personal growth. This transition is smooth, guiding readers toward the next chapter with anticipation and curiosity. The groundwork laid in this chapter paves the way for the thrilling conclusion, where the threads of diplomacy and espionage come together in a satisfying resolution. The detective's journey is far from over, and the lessons learned along the way will shape their approach to the challenges ahead. Conversational tone and reader engagement. Throughout this chapter, a conversational tone invites readers to reflect on the themes of loyalty and deception in their own lives. The story's setting may be a luxury cruise ship in 1928, but its themes are timeless, resonating with readers who appreciate the mystery genre and its relevance to contemporary issues. By encouraging readers to consider the real-world implications of diplomacy and espionage, the chapter fosters a deeper appreciation for the story's intricate plot and historical context. Engaging anecdotes and relatable scenarios bring the narrative to life, connecting readers with the characters and their journey. The detective's growth and the unfolding mystery offer valuable insights into the interplay of diplomacy and espionage, providing readers with a richer understanding of the story and its themes. This chapter is not just an exploration of a mystery, it's an invitation to explore the complexities of human nature and the delicate balance of power in international relations. Chapter 10, Conclusion and Resources. As we draw the curtain on Whispers of Espionage, a Mystery Afloat, let's revisit the thrilling journey aboard the luxury cruise ship. This tale of diplomacy, espionage, and mystery offers more than just entertainment. It provides a lens into the intricate dance of international relations and the art of deduction. The Vanishing Ambassador wasn't just a plot twist, it was a lesson in the subtle power plays that shape our world. For those intrigued by the themes explored, there are numerous resources to deepen your understanding. Dive into classic espionage literature, such as John le Carré's works, to see how real-world spycraft influences fiction. For a historical perspective, consider reading about the diplomatic tensions of the 1920s and 1930s, which provide a rich backdrop for understanding the stakes involved in our story. Applying these lessons to real-world scenarios involves recognizing the importance of observation and critical thinking. Just as our detective pieced together clues from a broken compass and invisible ink, we too can learn to interpret the subtleties in our environments. In diplomacy, as in life, it's often the unseen details that matter most. Keep in mind that the art of misdirection is not just for fiction. In negotiations and everyday interactions, understanding motives and reading between the lines can lead to more informed decisions. So, as you close this book, consider how you might apply these insights to your daily life, whether in personal relationships or professional endeavors. For further exploration, consider joining discussion groups focused on Golden Age mysteries or attending lectures on historical diplomacy. These resources will not only enrich your appreciation of the genre, but also provide practical tools for navigating the complexities of our interconnected world. In the final chapter of our journey through the luxurious yet perilous world aboard the cruise liner, we find ourselves reflecting on the intricate tapestry woven throughout this Golden Age mystery. With the ambassador's disappearance now resolved, it's time to distill the complex narrative into actionable insights and key takeaways that both satisfy our curiosity and enrich our understanding of this unique blend of diplomacy and deception. First and foremost, the critical element in unraveling this mystery was the detective's methodical approach. Our detective, with their keen eye for detail and logical reasoning, demonstrated that successful investigation hinges on the ability to connect seemingly disparate clues. For instance, the broken compass, initially dismissed as a mere accident, turned out to be a pivotal piece of evidence. It symbolized both the literal and metaphorical misdirection at play, guiding our detective to question the direction of the investigation itself. Additionally, the use of invisible ink notes served as a reminder of the subtleties involved in espionage. These notes, hidden in plain sight, highlighted the importance of looking beyond the obvious. In our modern world, where digital communication reigns, this technique may seem quaint, yet it underscores a timeless truth. The most significant messages are often the ones that aren't immediately visible. This idea can be applied to various real-world scenarios, encouraging us to look deeper into situations where things might not be as they appear. Experience shows that understanding the motivations of each character was vital in piecing together the puzzle. The suspects, each with their own conflicting political motives, provided a rich tapestry of potential leads and red herrings. This aspect of the story emphasizes the importance of empathy and perspective-taking in any investigation. By considering what each character stood to gain or lose, our detective was able to navigate the murky waters of international diplomacy with finesse. The outcome is reliable when one employs classic misdirection and logical clue work, as demonstrated throughout the narrative. The detective's ability to reinterpret clues as new information came to light was a testament to their adaptability and critical thinking skills. For example, the ship's manifest irregularity initially seemed like a clerical error, but was later revealed to be a deliberate attempt to obscure the ambassador's movements. This teaches us the value of revisiting assumptions and remaining open to new interpretations. Moreover, the interplay of diplomacy and espionage provided a fascinating backdrop that enriched the story's complexity. This setting not only heightened the stakes, but also offered insights into the delicate balance of power and the lengths nations will go to protect their interests. In today's interconnected world, understanding these dynamics is crucial for anyone involved in international relations or global affairs. For instance, the conflicting political motives among the diplomats served as a microcosm of the broader geopolitical tensions of the era. The narrative deftly illustrated how personal ambitions and national interests can collide, creating a fertile ground for intrigue and betrayal. This theme is as relevant today as it was in 1928, reminding us of the enduring nature of such conflicts. Reflecting on the detective's methods, we see a blend of intuition and empirical evidence at play. Their ability to read people, combined with a meticulous examination of physical evidence, created a holistic approach to solving the mystery. This dual focus on human behavior and tangible clues is a powerful strategy that can be applied to various problem-solving scenarios, from business negotiations to personal relationships. The detective's interactions with the ship's crew and passengers also provided valuable lessons in communication and negotiation. By building rapport and earning trust, they were able to extract crucial information that might otherwise have remained hidden. This highlights the importance of interpersonal skills in any investigative or diplomatic endeavor. As we conclude this chapter, it's worth considering how the lessons learned aboard the cruise ship can be applied to real-world scenarios. Whether navigating a complex workplace dynamic, resolving a personal conflict, or engaging in international diplomacy, the principles of logical reasoning, empathy, and adaptability remain invaluable. In summary, the key takeaways from this mystery are not just about solving a fictional crime, but about understanding the deeper truths of human nature and the intricacies of global politics. The detective's journey reminds us that the path to truth is rarely straightforward, but with patience, insight, and a willingness to look beyond the surface, we can uncover the hidden narratives that shape our world. For those eager to delve further into the themes explored in this story, there are numerous resources available that can enhance your understanding of the 1920s geopolitical landscape and the art of classic detective work. Books on historical espionage, diplomacy, and the golden age of mystery fiction provide a wealth of knowledge that complements the narrative we've experienced. Ultimately, Whispers of Espionage, A Mystery Afloat offers more than just a captivating tale. It invites readers to reflect on the enduring nature of mystery and the timeless quest for truth. By applying the lessons learned from our detective's journey, we can approach our own challenges with a renewed sense of curiosity and determination. As we close the book on this chapter, we encourage you to carry these insights forward, whether in your personal endeavors or professional pursuits. The world is full of mysteries waiting to be solved, and with the right tools and mindset, you too can become a detective in your own right, uncovering the secrets that lie beneath the surface. Introduction. As we close the final chapter of Whispers of Espionage, A Mystery Afloat, let's take a moment to reflect on the detective's thrilling journey aboard the luxurious cruise ship. This tale of intrigue deftly wove together themes of diplomacy, espionage, and logical deduction, creating a tapestry that is as timeless as it is engaging. These themes, though set in a bygone era, continue to resonate deeply, reminding us that the art of diplomacy and the shadowy world of espionage are as relevant today as they were in the golden age of mystery. Exploration of themes. The narrative's core themes invite us to explore the delicate dance of diplomacy, a dance that was vividly portrayed through the interactions of various international figures aboard the ship. Each character, from ambassadors to secretaries, played a part in this intricate ballet, reflecting the complex nature of international relations. This theme of diplomacy is not merely a relic of the past. It echoes in today's geopolitical landscape, where nations continue to navigate the tightrope of global politics. Espionage, another central theme, was artfully interwoven throughout the storyline, drawing inspiration from real-world historical events of the 1920s and 1930s. The use of invisible ink, covert messages, and the ever-present tension of political motives mirrored the clandestine operations that have shaped history. These elements serve as a reminder that the world of espionage is not confined to the pages of fiction, but is a very real aspect of international affairs, influencing decisions and shaping destinies. Detectives' methods and insights. Our detective's unique approach to solving the mystery was a masterclass in observation and logical reasoning. By relying on keen observation, an understanding of human nature, and a methodical approach to deduction, the detective unraveled the complex web of deceit aboard the ship. These methods, while essential in solving the case, also offer valuable insights into problem-solving in everyday life. By applying these techniques, readers can enhance their critical thinking skills and approach challenges with a detective's keen eye for detail. Additional resources. For those intrigued by the historical context of the 1920s and 1930s, there is a wealth of resources available to delve deeper into the themes of diplomacy and espionage. Books such as The Secret World, A History of Intelligence by Christopher Andrew provide a comprehensive look into the history of espionage, while The Great Game, The Struggle for Empire in Central Asia by Peter Hopkirk offers insights into the geopolitical intrigues of the era. Documentaries like The Real Spies Among Us further illuminate the shadowy world of espionage, bringing historical events to life. Fans of classic Golden Age mystery novels will find inspiration in the works of Agatha Christie and Dorothy L. Sayers, whose stories capture the essence of the era with their intricate plots and elegant prose. For those interested in honing their skills in logical reasoning and deduction, resources such as The Art of Thinking Clearly by Rolf Dobelli and A Field Guide to Lies, Critical Thinking in the Information Age by Daniel J. Levitin offer practical guidance on developing these essential skills. Call to action. As you close the book on this mystery, consider how the lessons learned can be applied to real-world scenarios. Engage with current events through the lens of diplomacy and espionage, using critical thinking and logical analysis to navigate the complexities of modern geopolitics. Participate in discussions or forums to share insights and foster a deeper understanding of these complex themes. By doing so, you not only enrich your own perspective, but also contribute to a more informed and thoughtful discourse. Conclusion. Thank you for embarking on this journey with us through Whispers of Espionage, A Mystery Afloat. This story is not just a mystery to be solved, but a lens through which to view the world, offering insights into the art of diplomacy, the intrigue of espionage, and the power of logical deduction. As you turn the final page, may you carry with you a sense of intrigue and the desire to explore further, both in literature and in life. The adventure may end here, but the journey of discovery continues, inviting you to delve deeper into the mysteries of the world around us. In the captivating world of Whispers of Espionage, a mystery afloat, readers are not just entertained by the intrigue and suspense of a vanished ambassador, but are also invited to draw meaningful lessons that can be applied in real-world scenarios. As we delve into the themes of diplomacy, espionage, and mystery, this chapter aims to bridge the gap between fiction and reality, encouraging readers to translate the narrative's insights into their personal and professional lives. Bridging fiction and reality, applying the lessons of diplomacy and deception. Imagine you're aboard a luxurious cruise ship from the 1928 Golden Age, a vessel that not only serves as a setting for our mystery, but also as a metaphor for the intricate web of global diplomacy. The ship's grandeur and the elegance of its passengers reflect the sophistication required in real-world negotiations and strategic maneuvers. As the ship sails into the horizon, it symbolizes the ongoing journey of learning and application. Let's explore the key themes and concepts from the story and see how they can be applied in everyday life. Diplomacy and strategy. One of the most compelling aspects of the narrative is the art of diplomacy. In a world where diverse perspectives collide, understanding and negotiation are paramount. Think of diplomacy as a dance, where each step must be carefully considered to maintain harmony. In the boardroom or at home, this means taking the time to understand different viewpoints and finding common ground. For instance, in a professional setting, approaching a negotiation with empathy and a willingness to listen can lead to more successful outcomes. Consider an anecdote from the story. The detective, while gathering clues, often found themselves in diplomatic dialogues with various characters. These interactions required not just tact but also strategic thinking, skills that are invaluable in any negotiation process. Espionage and information gathering. The theme of espionage in the narrative highlights the importance of gathering and analyzing information to make informed decisions. In the real world, this translates to the ability to sift through data, identify patterns, and draw conclusions. However, it's crucial to balance transparency and confidentiality, much like the characters who used invisible ink notes to communicate covertly. Imagine you're tasked with a project that requires deep research. Just as the detective pieced together clues, you would gather data, verify sources, and analyze findings to ensure accuracy and relevance. Ethical considerations, such as respecting privacy and maintaining integrity, are as important in research as they are in espionage. Critical thinking and problem-solving. The detective's logical approach to solving the mystery is a masterclass in critical thinking and problem-solving. This involves not just following the evidence, but also questioning assumptions and considering alternative explanations. In your own life, adopting a similar mindset can help you tackle challenges more effectively. For example, when faced with a complex problem at work, breaking it down into smaller parts and examining each element can lead to a clearer understanding and a viable solution. The detective's journey teaches us that patience and persistence are key to unraveling even the most tangled webs. Character reflections. Reflecting on the journey of the detective and key characters, we see growth and lessons learned. The detective's ability to remain true to their principles while adapting to new challenges is particularly inspiring. It reminds us that while it's important to have core values, flexibility and adaptability are crucial in navigating life's uncertainties. In your own journey, consider how you can stay true to your principles while being open to change. Whether it's adapting to a new role at work or handling unexpected personal challenges, the ability to pivot while maintaining your integrity is a valuable skill. Real-world applications. Now let's translate these insights into actionable steps. Engage in active listening and empathetic communication. Draw parallels to the diplomatic dialogues aboard the ship. Practice truly listening to others, acknowledging their perspectives, and responding thoughtfully. This approach can improve relationships both personally and professionally. Practical exercises in critical thinking. Hone your deductive reasoning skills by analyzing current events or historical cases. Break down the information, identify key elements, and consider various outcomes. This exercise will sharpen your ability to think critically and solve problems, further exploration. Dive deeper into the world of diplomacy, negotiation, and strategic thinking through books, articles, and online courses. Resources such as Getting to Yes by Roger Fisher or online platforms like Coursera offer valuable insights and techniques. Illustration prompt. Picture a scene where the detective stands at the ship's helm, gazing into the distance, with the ship's compass prominently displayed. The compass, now repaired, symbolizes clarity and direction, guiding the ship, and metaphorically you, toward new horizons. The backdrop of a setting sun over the ocean signifies the end of one journey and the beginning of another. Conclusion. As the narrative of Whispers of Espionage comes to a close, the story's lessons resonate beyond the pages. By applying the insights gained from the mystery, you are empowered to navigate your own life with greater awareness and strategic acumen. This chapter serves not only as a conclusion, but as a call to action, inviting you to embark on your own journeys of discovery and application. Remember, the world of diplomacy and espionage is not just confined to the pages of a book. The skills and insights you've gleaned can transform your approach to life's challenges, helping you become a more effective communicator, a strategic thinker, and a problem solver. As you sail into your own horizons, let the lessons of Whispers of Espionage guide you towards success and fulfillment.